scream queen with a million smiles. Catching all the love from around the world. Hey Shelly, won't you shine your light in the darkest times? You make it bright, Life's dream dreams, we're all by your side, Come on, do what you do, girl, you're one of a kind, Shelly, Shelly, you're our life's dream star. Keep rocking your show, no matter where you are.
Hey, Shelly from the block. Jersey girl with a mouth that won't stop, no. Sassy, and I'm not afraid to show it. Gonna spill the tea, you better be ready for it. I speak my mind, no filter inside. Shelly's in the house, talking trash and truth. No sugar-coated blues. Taking melody and get out the way. Jersey girl with something to say. Shelly's in the house, time to break the rules. From Coast to the city, I'm the queen of cool. You can handle the heat, then take the high. Shelly's in the house, drop the mic.
Hey, Shelly in the house tonight, living it up, feeling so right. Yeah, New Jersey girl, she's got that style. Life stream queen with a million smiles, and she know the love from around the world. Hey Shelly, won't you shine your light? It's time to make it right. Life stream queen's way away side. You're one of a kind. Shelly, Shelly, you're a life stream star. Keep rocking the show no matter where you are.
Hey everybody, happy Halloween. It is October 31st, 2024 at 12:03 p.m. on the East Coast, and this is Shelly, your mouthy mama talking trash and truth. This is Coffee and Chaos with T3. That's me. Since it's Halloween, I want to wish a happy Halloween to everybody out there. Hoogity boogity and all that. I also want to wish a huge birthday shout out to my bestie, Winning Reality. Happy birthday, sweetie. I hope you have a wonderful day. Well deserved. He doesn't like a big deal made for his birthday, so I wasn't allowed to do like a big stream or anything like we did last year. But he can't stop me from wishing him a happy birthday. And he is an amazing dude. So if you haven't checked out Winning Reality's channel, please do. I know Wolfram or Heidi will be throwing up those links in a minute. I want to say hi to Wolfram and Heidi and Lady Awesome. Yes, snuck in there in between Wolfram's links. See, now I got Winning on the brain. Always. Yes, happy birthday to Winning. He is amazing. He just did the other night, Tuesday night, he did an interview, a very late interview with Gary Franchi. That went over really well. He's very proud of that. He would also beg me to remind you guys to watch Line in the Sand. If anybody out there could drop that BitChute or I don't think there's a Rumble link anymore. Drop the BitChute link so they could see it. It's really an important film that needs to be seen. Tucker has it behind a paywall that really irritates the crap out of Winning because people need to see it before they vote in this election. It's definitely an instant red pill. It shows you exactly what they're up to when it comes to the immigration problem and child trafficking and everything like that. So Line in the Sand by James O'Keefe. It is riveting. I mean, you literally cannot look away from it once you start watching it. Give it like 5 minutes, guys. Get into it, and then you're going to be like, oh my goodness. Like, no, this can't be. Like, you literally sit there going, this can't be real. Like, how does this country function? Well, the fact of the matter is that it doesn't. And this is part of the reason why. So you really should check that out. So if somebody could throw that link out there, I would very much appreciate it. I promise not to drive you crazy with links. I'm just trying to promote his channel a little bit. It's his birthday. Make sure you go over there. Make sure you're subbed up. Watch some of his streams. Share some of his more controversial stuff like the BitChute. Just get that out to anybody you can so they can see the movie. He doesn't care about the clicks. He doesn't get anything from BitChute. BitChute is pointless, but it's a good place to store stuff. So you guys can go there, grab that link, see that movie, and really just let it change your point of view. Open your mind to it. Don't go into it saying, no, this is all propaganda. This is all crap. It's all true. And when you see what these guys have gone through, not just James O'Keefe, but the muckrakers and everything, it's amazing. I mean, they literally put their lives on the line to expose the truth, and it's not being taken as seriously as it should be. And it's a real game changer. It really is. It shows just how badly this administration has dealt with the immigration crisis and with the invasion and just how little they think of us. I'll be perfectly honest, this is going to be a nice stream. I'm trying not to I'm going to go deep when it goes to fear, but for the most part, it's a nice stream. I've been gearing up for Halloween. We didn't really decorate. My mother's got that damn skeleton outside that plays the banjo. Oh, for Christ's sake, it's got a motion detector. Every single car that goes down the road path sets it off. And I can't wait for it to be gone. I can't. I have dreams of this stupid ding, 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 ding. No, I didn't have enough bad dreams about banjos in my life. Now I have a skeleton playing banjo, which I guess is better than picture Ned Beatty, but whatever. Beatty, Beatty, whatever, however the hell you want to say his name. But I do love Halloween. It is my favorite holiday. It's tied with Christmas, actually. But when you're broke, Christmas isn't so jolly. And when you have no family around, Christmas isn't so jolly. So let's hope this Christmas is better. Katie is sitting at the kitchen island and informed me that she is a flower cat. She's got on cat ears and cat makeup, but she's wearing a floral top. So she's a flower cat. Mind you, my daughter is 29 years old. So you see what I'm dealing with on a daily basis. And I just, my mother looked at her like she was strange. Her grandfather, said, oh, that's great, con. Because that's what he does. And I just looked at her and I went, okay. You're a flower cat. Good for you. She goes, what did you come as? So my lovely mother was like, an ungrateful bitch. I was like, wow, I didn't even need to change clothes. Awesome. I love it when those costumes work out. All right, so let's go back. So Wolfram's dropping links. For some reason, my friggin' StreamYard it's resisting scrolling and it's pissing me off. Lady Awesome Sky says, happy Halloween. And Wolfram wipes his paws, lopes in, and howls. Ow! That's as good as you're going to get on Halloween. If you, usually when I howl, it's for different reasons. Heidi, happy birthday to Winnie. Yes, everybody, happy birthday. Lady, happy birthday. Wolfram, happy birthday. Thank you for dropping those links. I appreciate it. My Inya out ya all around you. How you doing, Inya Mers? I was just watching that interview and saw your notification. I'll get back to it. Missed a fun night with my old self. Girl, someday I really wish that I could. Wouldn't that be awesome if you could just find one of your old selves? Just go back. You can wear your own face, wear something else, look like somebody else. It doesn't matter. Find your old self and just have a conversation with them and sit them down and say, so what's going on in your life? And what times you would go back to when you really needed to tell the truth and unload everything, totally unburden your soul. And the only person that you trusted was either you or God. So how nice would it be to be able to go back to one of those times and just have that conversation with yourself? To sit down with yourself and say, you know what? I'm from way in the future. You're going to be fine, but talk to me. Tell me what's going on. How amazing would that be to just sit there and tell yourself everything? Because you know that there's things you'll admit only to yourself that sometimes need to be spoken out loud. And I've done that. I've looked in the mirror and I've had a conversation with myself, and it is helpful because sometimes the only way I can face the absolute honest to God, bone chilling truth is to look myself in the eye and tell myself, this is what's going on. This is what I'm afraid of. This is what's hurting me. Because I'm not going to really judge me. I mean, I might, because I'm a little weird like that. But why don't you try that? When there's something that you understand it, you admit it, you accept it, but it's just laying there in your chest like a stone. Go to a mirror, look yourself in the eye, give yourself a good hard look and say, listen, we we need to talk. And then just tell yourself the thing that is hard to admit out loud. You'd be amazed at how healing that could be. Because, and that it ties into what we're talking into today. We don't admit things because of fear. It's a fear of us having to make a sacrifice. And usually that sacrifice is a little piece of your pride, or maybe your obstinacy, or maybe your shame. To admit that and let that out, even just to yourself, you would be amazed how much you'll unburden yourself. You might cry. Most likely you will cry because it's raw and it's honest and it's brutal. And then you cry and you get over it. You heal a little bit. And each time you do it, you heal a little bit more. Until eventually you look yourself in the eye and go, you know what? We're not so bad. Good job today. You should do that too. I have a hard time doing that. Looking myself in the eye and telling myself good things. Because it's almost like I look at me and I'm like, why are you lying to yourself? And maybe it's not a lie. Maybe it is the truth. But it feels like a lie because I've been conditioned to believe that's a lie. Anything good is a lie. And I know a lot of you who listen to me and you come here, and I know you know that feeling. I know you know that feeling that you can give praise to the most derelict of people. You can find something good in them, but you can't do it for yourself. I know you. I see you. I hear you. I feel you. And I get it. I do it too. One of these things coming up in this new era that I predict is going to happen very soon. We need to be kinder to ourselves. Yes, we're critical of other people. Yes, we're judgmental. It's human nature. But we're never worse to anybody than we are to ourselves. I think we save the meanest parts of ourselves, the most unforgiving parts of our hearts for ourselves. And that needs to stop. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter who's in your life. It doesn't matter what you own. It doesn't matter how much you're worth, what you've accomplished. None of it matters. Who you are at the end of the day matters. Because the only person that you can ever guarantee will be there for you 1000% of the time is you. You're born alone. You die alone. You go through it alone. Whether you have a partner, whether you have a sister, a brother, a mother, a father, a grandparent, an aunt, an uncle, a friend, anything, it doesn't matter. You could be the best of friends with somebody, be joined at the hip, have everything in common, spend 60 years on this planet together. I guarantee there are moments you will be completely alone and dependent upon only yourself. for something physical, something emotional, mental, it doesn't matter. You have to be able to take care of you. You have to be good to yourself. I'm not saying be selfish. I'm saying take care of you. It's really not an extravagance. I know a lot of us who have low self-worth think that putting ourselves even in the top 10 of priorities is going to be viewed as selfish. Somebody's going to say you're being greedy. Somebody's going to say something about it. You know what? If somebody says something about it, fuck them. They think about themselves. They sure as shit ain't thinking about you when they open their mouth and pass criticism. Fuck them. Worry about you. Take care of you. Because unless you're in tip-top form, you're not going to be able to take care of anybody else anyway. You're not going to give them your best. And if you think they deserve the best, that means the best of you too. So in some weird way, if you got to trick yourself into taking care of yourself better so that you can be there for somebody else, then that's the trick you pull. As long as the end result is the same. That's one of those situations where, it doesn't really matter how you get there as long as you get there. I'm not saying be malicious because, of course, people take that out of context, but trick yourself. Trick yourself into taking care of yourself so that you can take care of other people. If that's what you got to do, that's what you got to do. And maybe someday we'll get to a place where you'll say, I'm going to do this for me just because I deserve it. I'm worth it. But until you get to that place, it's all right. I'll hold your hand and we'll take the baby steps we need to. Oh, good God. Now you know I got to do it. I gotta fucking do it. Where is it? Ah, damn it. I have so many little clips that it's like, really? I have T-Rex. Where the hell is T-Rex's other thing? Damn it. Oh my God. Oh, here we go.
Baby steps? It means setting small, reasonable goals for yourself, one day at a time. One tiny step at a time.
Baby steps.
It works.
First of all, I don't pay property tax.
You know what makes me happiest about that clip? And you'd be amazed. It's the end when you see me on the secretary's face. That's exactly the friggin' face I probably would have made. I would have, yeah, that's great. Like, that's great. That's great. He manages to make my face make its actual expressions in a lot of these clips. It's funny. All right. Everybody's saying hi. Line in the sand. Inya. Inya, happy birthday. Winning my neighbors in labor. Oh, that's amazing. Yes, I know. I'm already 15 minutes behind in chat. Suck it. In honor of Halloween, bite me. They're in labor. That's great. I hope she has a wonderful labor and delivery. I hope it's quick. That's God, I miss being pregnant. I really do. I've been depressing the hell out of myself watching these damn videos of dogs responding to kicks in a pregnant belly. And I watch them and I'm like, oh, and then I cry because it's just like, ugh. But it sucks when that time of your life is over. God, I would have pushed out a baby a year and been thrilled with it. Now, what they're naming that kid cracks me up. Bright and Wild, stop it. I'm probably gonna be born today of all day. Bright and Wild on Halloween. Bright and Wild. Stop. Why do these people pick these names? I don't get it, but whatever. I mean, I was a bitch and named my son Connor because, everybody was like, oh, everybody had something to say. So I picked his name based on one of my favorite movies was oh god, what is it called? Endgame? I think it's called Endgame, but it's Highlander. And you have this chick that comes in and Connor McLeod is upstairs and she's like, Connor, are you here? And I'm just like, oh, I love the way she says his name. Now, there's Connor McLeod of the Clan McLeod. There's the Connor family, which is spelled different than my son, but whatever. But that's Roseanne's family. Had to do something to honor Roseanne. There was John Connor from Terminator. There was there was another Connor. Oh, and there was Connor from the Angel series. It used to be Angel and Buffy. And Angel was like a vampire with a soul, and he had sex with his sire, and they're two demons, and they're not supposed to be allowed to have babies. They have sex one time. There's this miracle baby, and the baby comes out. They call him Connor, and he goes to another dimension, comes back, and he's known as the Destroyer. And I figured that was probably going to be pretty apt when it came to my kid. So two demons have sex when they're not supposed to. Against all odds, they have a baby, and then the baby's a destroyer. And I pretty much did a self-fulfilling prophecy. So there we go. But yeah, the main thing was the Connor, are you here, Connor? I just love the way she said his name. Now, while that is a great thing to name your kid for, in my opinion, what I did not think about was how my mother would say his name. Kana, Kana. The first time she said it, I felt nothing but regret. Nothing. It was just all over regret. Kana, look at grandma, Kana. Now it's Kana, Kana, come here, Kana, Kana. And I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, I wish I would have never named him that. Like, I'm just like, you need to come up with a nickname. She's like, babe. I'm like, don't call my son babe. That's what I call him. You're not allowed to call him that. Like, I didn't think that one through, y'all. I really didn't. Really didn't. Because I mean, that I think she had an Irish accent. Like, uh, it wasn't. I don't think it was British. I thought it was Irish, but it's just the way she said his name, and it was so sweet and so melodic or melodic, however the fuck you want to say it. And then my mother comes out, and he was already born, and the birth certificate was already signed. And I was like, fuck. Kate was like, "What's the matter, Mom?" I was like, "Your grandmother." I was like, the way she says his name. Oh, Kana. There's an R. It ends in an R. I know we're from Jersey, but could you put a little effort in? Just a little effort. Tangent number 1. Oh, here's tangent number 2. I opened a merch store. It's so cute. The only thing that I really like in it is I have a picture of a cartoon squirrel that says squirrel. That's my favorite. I think I'm going to order a mug of my own with that on it, to be perfectly honest. But it's so cute. But yeah, there's a merch store. So I don't expect anybody, but take a look. Let me see if you see enough designs or if I should make more. Or if you have any ideas or anything, throw them in my Discord so I could write them down. And I'm trying to get my son to make designs for me. I told him, and this is, because you got to negotiate with Connor. If he makes my designs the way I like them, I will sell them. And if I make any money off any of his designs, he'll get a commission. That's the only way, just dangling the thought of money in front of him, his own money. That's the only way to get him to do anything. So we'll see what he comes up with. He seemed excited. He really liked that squirrel one. He was like, but I could make it better. I was like, all right, make it better. But I figure we squirrel all the time, so I needed that on a t-shirt or on an apron. Or there's cute. They have doggy bandanas. Oh my God, so cute. So cute. But I'm a mug girl. You buy me like a thoughtful mug or like a really funny mug, and I love you for life. That's always been since I was little. I've always been very territorial when it comes to my glassware. I don't know, it's weird. I've always had my own glass. I've always had certain glasses that I preferred using over others. And if you use them, I would get really aggravated because it inevitably people would break them. My daughter broke my favorite Garfield. I had a clear Garfield mug that I used to, it was a perfect size to drink, iced tea from at dinner and put hot tea in it, didn't break. It was great. And of course, she fucking dropped it and broke it. I had that thing for like 12 or 13 years and she freaking dropped it. She dropped my Star Wars glasses, which was like great. Those are gone. Connor dropped I had these big pint glasses with Iron Man and Captain America on them. There were two of them, and he managed to break both of them. So now I'm down to like a handful of mugs. One that says "Fuck Mondays," and when you drink your coffee, at the bottom there's a middle finger coming back at you. One that says "Witch's Brew," which obviously I was drinking from this morning. And there's one with just an M on it. And then there's another one. I can't remember what the hell it says. Something about I'm a proper lady. I say fuck when it's appropriate. And it's appropriate a lot. Like something like it says something like that. But I mean, my friends usually they used to buy me like, oh God, Star Wars mugs. Trust me, working in education, I never had a shortage of mugs, candles, body wash, and what was the other thing they used to give me? Packages of Post-its and pens. Oh, good God. So many stationery like things. You go to the dollar store, it's got all those the little binder clips, the little paper clips. It's got a couple markers, couple pens, couple packs of Post-its, and it's all like in this weird flat, thing that they hang up. I would get so many of those. But the candles and the mugs, oh dear God. And the bottles of wine. Lot of wine, lot of vodka. Let me tell you something. Those parents, they did not go cheap either. Marty almost shit himself one year. He got this like $400 bottle of whiskey from a parent on the very first day of school. And he comes into my room and his head is down, his hands are in his pockets, and he's just kind of like Marty's huge. Marty's this giant, like 6'4", big linebacker dude. And he came in looking like somebody kicked his puppy. And I'm looking at it and I said, I'm not gonna engage, because if I engage, then he's gonna have me for like an hour. And I'm trying to get like all these kids wrangled or whatever. And he comes in looking all hangdog expression. And he sits in my chair, which that's a no-no. And I finish with the kids. I get them all settled down. I turned around. I was like, what? What is wrong with you? He said, I just got a gift. I said, and yet you look like somebody shot you in the forehead. And he was like, yeah, no, I got a gift on the first day of school. I said, okay. He said, this kid, he's going to be in your class as of tomorrow. I was like, yeah, I have one that didn't show up. And he gave me the name. I said, yeah, that's the one. He said, yeah, his father came in and said they had a hard time getting him ready, so he'll be in tomorrow. I was like, he missed the first day of school. It's not a good start. I said, the father gave you the gift? And he was like, yeah. He was like, I don't know how I feel about it. And I was like, well, being as I'm getting the kid, maybe you want to give me the gift. He was like, maybe I do. I said, what would he give you? And I can't remember. It wasn't Glenfiddich, but it was along those lines. And he said, it's a $400 bottle of whiskey. And I just looked at, I said, oh, you ain't giving me that fucking kid. I was like, are you crazy? And he was like, what do you mean? You don't know? I said, the father on the first day of school, of which the child is absent, gave you a $400 bottle of whiskey to get you through the year. Fuck you. No, you're not doing it to me again. And he was like, it'll be fine. Oh my God. That child drove me crazy. And he wound up being my favorite, but he drove me crazy. He was a nonverbal, very sensory sensitive um, little boy. He was adopted from Russia, and he was a little tongue tied, so they were working on that. But he couldn't speak really. He would very rarely say words, and he was a screamer. And he also vocalized a lot. Now, if you work with autistic kids that are nonverbal who vocalize, you hear a lot of na 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 all day long, and you learn to tune it out. You couldn't tune this kid out. You couldn't, because apparently it wasn't just a verbal problem, it was a volume problem. And his decibels were at window shattering levels. And after like the first week, I was like, see, we need to do something about you. I was like, what am I going to do? Because I had headaches every day. And this kid came in and he was screaming. And all of a sudden, I just let out a shriek. And he stopped and he just looked at me. And I was like, what do you need? Because I was so done. I hadn't had any coffee, nothing. Sorry, I'm making myself laugh, so I'm like choking. Um, and he's so tiny. And I got on the floor and I beckoned him close. I was like, come here, come on. It's okay, come here. And he walks over and he's standing in front of me like, what do I do with this chick? And I'm pointing at my chin, telling, because that's how I used to redirect them to do eye contact. I would point at my chin and say, look at me, focus, now look up, focus. Because it's hard for them to make direct eye contact. So if you direct them to your chin first and then have them bring their eyes up, it's a lot easier on their nervous system. It's not as much as of a shock to them. It doesn't take as much effort because they want to focus on a different part of you than your eyes. So if you bring them not to your nose because that's too close to your eyes, they need that second of transition time to go from chin to eye. So I would tap my chin and say, look at me, okay, up. Because then I'd go right from pointing to my chin or touching my chin to pointing directly up to my eyes, and they would just naturally follow the direction of my finger. It made it easier for them. So there's a little pro tip out there for anybody who has to deal with ADHD or any kind of that. Like, you have to direct them to a part of you and then make them look at your eyes. Now, depending on the type of person you're dealing with, that's up to you. Like, if I was talking to Winning, I wouldn't say, hey, look at my chin. I'd probably pat my chest and then be like, okay, now eyes up. Okay. But that's one way to keep his attention. And that's what works. But like when you're dealing with a little kid, your chin is the safest bet. And it really does work. Try it one day. You can even try it on like your kids or try it on your husband, your wife, whatever. It works, believe it or not. I forgot where I was going with this. Oh, so anyway, so I redirected him and I'm pleading with this kid. I was like, honey, what do you need from Miss Michelle? What can I do for you? And he's like looking and he's trying. And I was like, take your time and tell me. Because he knew how to gesture and tell me different things. He can communicate, just not with words. And I had already learned his language at this point. And he put his arms out. It took him like 2 minutes, but he put his arms out. And he put them around himself, like in a circle around himself. And then he squeezed himself. And I said, you need hugs? And he squeezed really, really hard. And I was like, you need hard hugs. And he was like, and he's looking at me and he just jumps into my lap. So I'm like holding on to this kid and I'm squeezing him. I used to call them compression hugs because sometimes that's a reset for them and it gives them real comfort. And if we didn't have like a compression vest to put on them or a weighted vest to give them some type of like grounding that they wanted, then I would just do that, or I would turn them upside down on my lap. Believe it or not, that's a huge reset for autistic kids. They go insane for that. They love it. It's like an instant value. And you don't hold them upside down. You just kind of joking around. You go, oh, upside down. You flip them upside down real quick, like not like all the way, but like an incline. And then you flip them back up and you give them a squeeze, and they're usually good to go. And I did that for him. And in about a month, his mom came in and she said, I just want to tell you, he's gotten really good at telling us that he needs tight hugs. And I was like, that's great. She said, but I'm going to warn you. He really, really likes going for the chest area. If you don't mind, I said, I do mind. I was like, but I can't exactly like put them away when he comes to hug me. And she was like, no, no, no. She was like, I'm just saying it's not anything bad. She was like, but he's gonna go for that. And I was like, all right, whatever. So I went through this whole like half a year with this kid because then like things went south at school. And he was so good. And school reopened like a year and a half later. And I went in and I saw that one of my teacher friends was teaching. I'm talking to him, and one of his goes, "Oh, oh, 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 oh," and I was like, "Oh my god!" It was the kid that I had, and he wouldn't talk, and he comes running over to me, and he goes, "Boobies!" I was like, "Oh my god!" And I'm not thinking, "Oh my god," he just said boobies. I'm thinking, "Oh my god, he just said a word." And my friend Manny was like, "Well, at least you know he remembers you, shall." I was like, "Thanks." That was the only this kid had that was his comfort place. And like we had to have meetings about it because we were super careful about it because you don't want to, like ever even think about being seen as crossing a line. But that was what he wanted. And it just strikes me as so funny because he was just so unwanted by the other teachers. Like I literally, if I would have said no, he would have had nowhere to go. And I took him thinking, oh my God. And he did. He drove me crazy for the whole year that we were there until we had to leave. And yeah, Marty was just like, he goes, yeah, he goes, that kid, he adores you. I was like, most of my kids adore me. I was like, I wish you adored me the way they do. He was like, I do. I'm just more reserved about it. No, he's just an asshole. He's just an administrator. But yeah, I miss those kids. I woke up today missing those kids because Halloween is a huge thing in school. And I always went all out. I mean, I had spider webs all over the room. I had different like areas set up where they could play games. One would get like, spider ring tattoo, spider rings and tattoos and little erasers. And oh man, I miss all my kids. I really do. But yeah, Marty with that. I know we went on a huge tangent, and this is because I started talking about mugs and the merch store. I'll get back to it, I swear to God, but it's going to be that kind of day because I haven't been talking a whole lot for like days because some people are preoccupied with their other things. So there's no point in me talking because I just get, you know, sniped at or I get an attitude and I'm sure they don't think that they have it, but they do. Or, every time I open my mouth here, I get yelled at. So it's like, why the fuck would I talk? Everyone's like, you're so quiet. I can't even sing a song without somebody having something to say. So, yeah, no, I'm quiet. I'm quiet. I got you guys. I come here, I unload everything here, and that's what we do. Because otherwise I'm so tired of being ignored. I am tired of people just assuming that I'm always going to be around to do whatever they want me to do. And it doesn't matter how you talk to me. It doesn't matter, what's in it for me or whatever. Like if I get any kind of anything, oh, shall do this. Here, do that. Go do this. I need you to do this. Like, all right, so I guess I'm just at everybody's fucking beck and call. And it's just irritating me. So yeah, I just stopped talking and I stay by myself. The problem is if I don't come here and talk to you guys, I will talk less and less and less until I just stop talking. And when I stop talking, it's never good because that means that my brain is now in silent mode and overthinking hyperactive mode, and it's going to do all the conversating by itself. And yes, that's a Jersey word, conversating. We were conversating. So my brain will talk to itself. And everything I want to say to you, I will say in my brain, and it will percolate and become bigger, and I will shut down. When I don't communicate, that's a pretty good indication that you've either hurt me, pissed me off, or I've lost interest. So, when I lose interest in having relationships with people, I just stop talking. Because eventually I'm quiet enough that I go away and you don't realize it. But that's how I did it with my friends. And yesterday my mother was like, "You really don't talk a lot." She's like, "You talked a lot more like a couple weeks ago." Mm-hmm. It's because I can't do anything. Can't eat something because, oh, what are you eating? I always get everything I go to eat, they're going to use later. Okay. So I just don't eat. I skip so many fucking meals. I'm literally like a 1 meal a day fucking person at this point. And it's just like, whatever. But I asked them to buy Halloween candy in case we get trick-or-treaters. You think they did? Nope. Nope. Of course not. But I swear to God, if anybody knocks on that door, I'm going to play dead. I will be in here like, forget it. Late. I know I'm horribly behind. Whatever. It's only like a half an hour. It's your mom's birthday. Happy birthday, Mom. Happy birthday. What was mine? Oh, I gotta look it up. Wave 5. Where are the lyrics? This was my kid's favorite in school. Instead of singing Happy Birthday, Mother, sing 5 little pumpkins sitting on a gate. The first one said, "Oh my, it's getting late." The second one said, "There are witches in the air." The third one said, "But we don't care." The fourth one said, "Let's run and run and run." The fifth one said, "We're ready to have some fun." Then, ooh, went the wind, and out went the lights, and the 5 little pumpkins rolled out of sight. We used to do all these like hand motions and everything. I used to scare the shit out of the kids when I'd say, "Ooh, went the wind," and I'd clap real loud going, "Ow!" They don't fucking jump. They used to make me sing that song 10, 20 times on Halloween. Oh my goodness. I even had a friggin' bulletin board where I made the gate and I made the pumpkins and I had all the lyrics up and I built trees going from like the ground all the way up to the ceiling. I don't do anything by half. I'm very extra. So when I do something, it's go big or go home. Like Marty with the friggin' Christmas decorations. When I put up on the door of the classroom, I built a reindeer barn, like the front of a barn, the whole door. And I put 3 reindeer in the front with just their heads and everything. They had googly eyes. And I was putting like the signpost, reindeer crossing, whatever. Don't feed I had one that said don't feed the reindeer with the paws over the do not, the not part. So it says do feed the reindeer. But it was so cute. It had like, I had little Christmas decorations up. That's when Marty came over and because it was for a contest, and he was like, "This is what you're doing." I was like, "Yeah," and he was like, "Yeah, not your best. I expected better." And he walked away. My mouth hit the floor. I was like, "Oh no, you didn't." And he was like, "Just thought you put a little effort in." It was like, really? Oh, see, now it's on, motherfucker. By the time he came in the morning, that entire hallway, and we're talking a good 40, maybe 50 feet of hallway was decorated on both sides, ceiling, floor, everything. You couldn't move for the decorations that I created and put up. And he was like, "How the hell? We're not allowed to have any kind of like Christmas trees." So I made mine out of stencils. I stenciled out the letters "Ho Ho Ho Boken" on both sides of the tree, so that when you open the tree, it said "Ho Ho Ho Boken" going from the base to the top of the tree in stenciled out letters, but it just looked like a Christmas tree unless you've like turned your head and then you're like, oh, once you saw it, you couldn't unsee it. But if you didn't see it, you didn't notice it. And Marty's like, "Oh my God, that's genius." I was like, "It's not really ho ho ho." I said, "Because we live in ho ho Boken." And he was like, he goes, "You always find a loophole." Yep. Yep. That's me. I will play with semantics because I get up to semantics. Like, you ain't catching me. Mm-mm. No, 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 no. I am a tricky bitch. Uh, that's why I'll answer any question you have, but you got to answer the right question. You got to ask the right question. So yeah, happy birthday to her. Oh, my daughter's was the 29th. Happy birthday to your daughters. We came home on Halloween. Aw. I hope she's feeling better. I'm glad that everything went well. I'm so glad you were able to be there for her and for the kids. It's amazing. I wish I had a mom like you. I really do. Anybody who wants mine, I'll pay you to take her. Tell her how cute. I love Kate. Katie is a pain in my ass. I love her too, but she's a pain in my ass. You know, she put a hole in the wall in the bathroom. She was, shh, don't tell nobody. But it's just our secret. She was holding on to the handicap rail, and I guess she must have put her elbow against the wall for leverage, because instead of pulling herself up, she kind of pulled herself so that she pushed her weight onto her elbow, and that part of the wall was not supported by a beam. It was hollow, and she comes out 4 a.m. I was having a cigarette because I'd just woken up from the noise she was making in the bathroom. And she was like, "I put a hole in the wall." I said, "You did a what?" I ran. I mean, ran. And I looked, and I was screaming. Thank God they were watching TV in the living room loud. I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me? Jesus Christ, we've only been here 3 months." And she was like, I know, don't be mad, don't be mad. I was like, "Oh my God, do not tell anybody." And she was like, "But it's got to get back." Shut up. She was like, "Shut your mouth. Shut up. I will tell them when the time is right." I was like, "Do not open your mouth." I was like, "If you feel any guilt at all, I don't care. You swallow it." I was like, "Do not tell your grandfather. Do not tell your grandmother. Do not tell your brother, because he will shout it from the rooftops." And she was like, "So just leave it with you. Just leave it with me." So yesterday I told my mother, and Katie was like, and she's like sitting there, tears in her eyes. I said, "I swear to God, if you cry, I'm gonna give you something to cry about." I was like, "It's already done. It's over with. It's a freaking hole in the wall. Shut up. Like, I don't want to see tears over it. Stop it." And I told my mother, I said, "Don't you dare tell your husband." I was like, "I have an idea how to fix it without it being a big deal, and it's gonna work out greater. And just trust me." And she was, and then we both turned to Katie. We were like, "And you keep your mouth shut." If you feel any compunction at all to tell the secret, you fucking bite your tongue. I was like, "There's no way." She's like, "I don't understand. You said that we're not supposed to have secrets." I said, "This is different." I said, secrets from your grandfather and from your brother are different than secrets from each other. And she was like, what? I said, because we will work our shit out. They will harp on that shit and we will never be allowed to do this. And she was like, I said, just trust me. I said, you can't always just go, oh, here and put it on a plate and then hand it to them and expect them to deal with it. You got to finesse a little bit. You got to soften the blow. You got to get them when they're in a goddamn good mood. And it's just like, she was like, oh, I can't tell when they're in bed. That's why we want you to be quiet. That's why you need to be quiet. Just let us deal with it. Because as cute as you are, you do not know how to charm somebody for nothing, man. Stop it. And, she was like, but it feels like lying. I said, well, then embrace it. I was like, once it's over, you can tell them that we made you be quiet. Would that make you feel better? She was like, yeah. I was like, fine. So we're forcing you to be quiet about it. She was like, all right, because Connor's going to be mad. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. You just zip your mouth. So funny. StreamYard is resisting scrolling. Maybe it needs to be greased. I mean, maybe. My son is Sonic. Nice. The headpiece was floppy. Tried to fix it last night with pipe cleaners and the fabric glue dried white, so markers had to be involved. Looked icky. Yeah, no, I've been there where the super glue dries white and you're like, God, it looks like somebody splooged on it. You're like, well, let me bedazzle this shit. Like, let me stick stickers on it. I've done that. Oh my God. Connor, one year, wanted to go as this very bizarre red yarn haired thing. I don't know. It looked like Cousin It, but it was made entirely of red yarn and it had googly eyes on the front of it. But the only way for me to get this on him, I had to buy one of those hollow styrofoam balls for the flowers, that they stick like to make centerpieces. And I cut it in half and I hollowed it out more. And I hot glued an elastic string to it for like a chin strap. And then I started like putting on the loads. And I mean, I used like 2 skeins of friggin' yarn on this thing. And I mean, I covered every bit. He couldn't see shit. He couldn't see a damn thing. He was like, this is the most uncomfortable. I said, you're lucky I didn't use staples. Be quiet. I said, you're the one who made me make this damn. One year he was a tiger and Katie was a safari hunter. That was so cute. That was before she could walk again. She was in the wheelchair. But yeah, that was one of the cutest years. Another year he was Steve Irwin and she was a zombie prom queen. So she wore my prom dress. I teased her hair all out in like 80s style. And I did like the white makeup and then the shadow, like shading. And then I just covered her in fake blood. I didn't even care that it was my prom dress and I was ruining my prom dress. I literally like doused her from the mouth all the way, like it was dripping down her chin, down her neck, all over her chest, the prom dress, everything. Oh, she had such a good time. She had long black sharp nails. I did like all her eye makeup and like she really looked terrifying. She loved it. That was her senior year. She absolutely loved it. She had such a good time. She's like, everybody loved the way I look. Oh, that's great. They took so many pictures of her. I've always enjoyed getting my kids ready for Halloween. And they usually had 2 costumes. Like they had their school costume and then they had the costume to go to what we had called the Ragamuffin Parade, where they'd get candy and, they'd go from store to store to store to store all along one long avenue. And we would meet up with everybody that we knew, like all my friends, all their kids. And my house was like right in the middle. So my house was always bathroom house. It was, oh my God, we all have to go to the bathroom. Everybody in. All right, everybody get out. Everybody in. Everybody out. So they would just stop by there. And then at the end of the night, they'd come by. We'd all eat something. And then everybody go home, do their individual trick-or-treating if they wanted, or go to fuck to sleep. Most of the time, by 9 o'clock, we were all knocked out. Because Hoboken's only a mile square. But when you walk that avenue 4 or 5 times getting candy, That's a lot of walking, especially when you're pushing Katie in a wheelchair and battling with the people. Oh my God, I can't tell you how many people I would like just take them right out of the ankles. I don't give a fuck. You stepping over my daughter, clank, clank, clank. She'd be like, people hate this wheelchair because you hit them with it. They shouldn't be standing over you. Like you're a kid in a wheelchair in a costume. Today is like a day for you, not for the adults. Fuck the adults. You step in front of my daughter's wheelchair, or you get in her way, or like you infringe on her space, I'm gonna hit you with the wheelchair. Like that's all there is. And if I don't hit you with the wheelchair, I'll just hit you. Like that's it. Like one way or another, you're getting the fuck away from my kid. But oh, we used to have so much fun dressing up. Yeah, but I'll tell you, you gotta be able to think on your feet with these kids with these costumes, because I don't think my kids ever put a costume on right out of the bag, like store bought, as it was. To be like, oh, this is really cute, but could you make it be more this? Can you do that? Like my daughter with the damn poodle skirt. She wanted to be like, like a pink lady, but with a poodle skirt. And so I did the whole outfit. And she's like, I was like, what? It's not floofy enough. I was like, it's not what? Not floofy. Like I want it to be floofy. Like if I stand, I want it to go back and forth. And Connor was like 7 or 8. And he said, really? And she was like, what? She's like, I just want it to be. He was like, I get it, floofy. He was like, how the hell is mom supposed to make it floofy? And I did. I went and I bought the tulle and I bought crinoline and I made her the underskirt. And it took me forever because I had no sewing machine. So I had to like do it all by hand. And oh my God, she wore it, what, an hour and a half in the wheelchair? But at some point, like she would stand up every couple blocks. She would stand up and swish. She'd go, guys, look. And she'd swish her. So she enjoyed it. It was worth it. But God, what a pain in the ass. I was like, you just couldn't leave it alone. You just couldn't be happy with what you got. It's got to be better. Yeah, well, never let it be said my kids are like me. They do not settle for things that are subpar. If they want something, they want that specific something. And they don't care if you found one cheaper in a different brand name or no, that's not what they wanted. They wanted this specific thing. And it's like, okay, it's not super expensive, but there's a reason they want that specific one. Like they either like the taste or the look or the feel or whatever. It lasts longer. I don't know. But they do not compromise. They really don't. I mean, they're not dictators, obviously. But yeah, for the most part, they're like, no, I wanted this one. Why would you get me something other than the one I asked for? Like, there's a reason I asked for that. You could have at least, considered. Yeah, and I'm like, I made the mistake once of trying to make a substitution, and I found out from my son after a 3-hour lecture on how this pen doesn't do this, and because this brand is biodegradable, like he had a whole list of reasons why I was stupid for buying this cheaper version when the quality of the other one justified the price because it would last 3 times as long and blah, 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 blah. And I was just like, all right. After that, I never again. Never. I never substitute anything without asking first. Because who the hell wants to sit there and listen to that? But that's my kids. Anyway, I told you today's going to be tangent day. It's going to be tangent day because I have not talked in days, really. Small talk, which I fucking hate. But to actually speak, no, not so much. Oops, and you had that happen once with my kid costume when they were little. The funniest, Heidi, was my friend Prudence. Her kid came into the bathroom. It was like 6 o'clock in the morning. They're rushing around to get ready for work and school. And he was trying to use super glue to glue something together that he had broken that he needed for school. And he couldn't get it open. So she was in the bathroom doing her hair. And she goes to open it and it exploded in her hand. And I get this frantic FaceTime call at 6 o'clock in the morning. What the hell do I do? The damn super glue fucking exploded all over me. I was like, oh my God, did it get on your clothes? Fuck my clothes, Shelly. It's on my face. I gotta go to work. I said, oh, it's not. She said, it won't come off. She's like, I can't even put foundation over it because then it looks like I put it over like, like a freaking cum stain. I was I was like, I can't help you. I was like, I can't breathe. She was like, I look like I took a shot to the face. If I have to go to fucking work like this, it's gonna be pearl necklace jokes for days. I was dead. I was dead. And to make matters worse, she's like, hold on, I need more. So we had another, but she merged. I was like, I didn't know you could do that. She was like, bitch, I got problems. And I was just like, listen, do you have acetone, like nail polish remover? Yeah. Why? I was like, she goes, that takes off my gel. I was like, yeah, that'll take off the super glue. Shut up. No, it won't. I was like, yeah, don't get it on your clothes though, because it's gonna like totally take the dye out of your clothes. I was like, but on your skin, yeah, use a Q-tip and just saturate the Q-tip in the acetone and then lightly go over it. Like wet it, wait a couple seconds, then do it again, and then you should be able to flake it off. This bitch was an hour and a half late for work because she meticulously took every single drop of it off her face. And she was like, we are going out. We did. We went out like a couple weeks later and she paid for everything. She was like, girl, you don't even touch your pocket. She's like, you need anything. She was like, you want weed? I'll get you weed. You want stoves? I'll get you stoves. You want booze? I'll give you. She goes, you want to get laid? I will fucking go out and get you laid. I don't care. She was like, because of you, I did not have to deal with that bullshit at work because I'd have laid somebody out. Prudence is about 5 feet tall and one of the meanest people you're ever gonna meet. She don't give a shit. She's the one that at the bar, the guy came up behind me and tried to talk to me, and she screams in his face, "She don't fuck ugly." Oh my god! I was like, "Oh, how could you say that so mean?" I turned around, I was like, "No, but she right." I was like, but I mean, I would never say I'm the type I usually I'll let you down, pretty easy. But or I'll joke around and you'll become like a really good friend. But yeah, no, she just comes out with shit. And she loves to fight. She loves to fight. I mean, loves it. Like she wakes up ready to fight. When you hear that saying, uh when there's I can't remember how the hell it goes. Something about when she gets out of bed in the morning, the minute her feet hit the floor, Satan says, ah shit. That's Prudence. I love her to death. She's the best. She can make me laugh like nobody else on this planet. Just because I sit there going, people say I'm shot out and that I'm abrasive, but holy hell, you make me look like a declawed kitten. Jesus. Like she's just vicious and she's smart. So she's fast and she's really, really tough and she's really, really good at analyzing people. And so she knows exactly how to hit you. But God, I miss her. She's that type of friend that you're like, oh my God, I love being friends with you as long as I don't piss you off. Usually I'm that friend. But no, she was the me of my world. Like most people treat me like that, but I used to call her Queenie because she is Queen Bitch, without a doubt. Without a doubt. But oh my God, she was like, bitch, you saved my life. Because when somebody's mean like that and then they fuck up, especially like at work or around a group of people who already feel bullied by them, whatever they did is going to go on in infamy. Like they're going to blow that shit up so much. It'll be nonstop forever. It'll never go away. She'll be like splooge face, or they'll start calling her Spot or some shit, or like, "Hey Pearl, how you doing?" Like, and it would have been endless. And I saved her from that, and she was eternally grateful. Like she said, "You have no idea the amount of shit they would have thrown my way." I was like, "Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do." Because I make sure that shit don't happen to me. What are you, crazy? Mm-mm. I mess up once and everybody's got to fucking say something about it. It's like, all right. Like, you think I'm mean? You don't know the shit I don't say. But yeah, I needed a good story because that one always makes me laugh. She's bitch. That poor girl. Self, you don't want to die after your grandbabies are born. Stop being a self-destructive dumbass. And yet, that if you could talk to yourself, yeah, why not? See, I don't see that as a negative statement. I see that as you tough loving yourself, as you well should, as you well should. And just remember, if you don't want to kick your own ass, I'll kick your ass. Stop being a self-destructive dumbass. There's only room for one of those around here, and that's me. Okay? So you're not allowed. That's off the table for you. And I love you, and I don't want you to go anywhere. So stop being a dumbass. You got grandbabies. Last said it's supposed to rain here during trick or treat hours, so I'll be taking my twins to the store in costumes to buy whatever candy they want. That's a good idea. I used to do that when we had the problem with the candy. There was a lot of rumors about laced candy and there being acid in the candy, like, like LSD. And so a lot of us didn't want our kids touching any of the stuff. So like we let them go trick-or-treating with pillowcases instead of buckets so that they would hold the top of the pillowcase or like with a big bag, and they didn't touch any of the candy. My kids knew not to touch any of the candy. And that year I had gone to the store and I bought a big bag of like all the things that they liked, like all things when it would be like cringing about. But I mean, it was Halloween, with the fuck. But I bought like, all the candies that they like, and then I swapped them out. And sometimes you have to. I mean, I remember when I was little, we went through the rumors of razor blades and apples, and there's glass in the candy, and it was like, it's like to go trick or treating for like 3 hours. You come home and then your parents say you can't have any of that. I wanted to punch them both in the face. I was like, but I just worked my ass off for that candy. And instead I just said, okay. Like, all right. But in my head, I was like, that's my candy. I hate you people. Like, where are you taking my candy? No, you can't. Like, there's nothing wrong with that candy. Y'all are going to eat it. And I knew they were going to eat it, and which they did. And then, because the next day my mother always said, oh, my teeth hurts. My stomach hurts. Bitch shouldn't have ate all my candy. God punished you. That was my grandmother's favorite line. Oh, your stomach hurts. I told you not to eat that second thing. Okay, but I wanted it. I'll see, God punish you for being greedy. Like, it was if you walked around or something and you hit your toe, oh, God punished you. What did you do? But you're not getting a confession after I already, like, after I served my time. Like, I already got through the punishment. I'll be damned if I'm going to admit to what I did. Like, I'm just going to throw random shit out there and get punished twice? Fuck out of here. I mean, I was a kid, but it wasn't stupid. The only thing I used to fall for, because I really had no choice, was if she'd say, come here. No, I'm not. You're not going to get hit. Come here. Come here. Come here. It's okay, honey bunch. Come here. You're not going to get hit. And as soon as you get within striking distance, it was like, oh, it was always in the head. It's amazing that I don't have brain damage. With the amount of times I got hit in the head growing up, oh my God. And my grandfather used to have a fit. Anytime somebody hit me, don't hit her in the head. You want to make her stupid. It's like, great. At least he doesn't think I'm stupid yet. My son has already said he wants Starburst gummies. See, that's what I like. Get them what they like. Otherwise, you wind up You know, you wind up with that bag of Halloween candy that you find like months later of all the stuff that nobody wants to eat. Like those little bags of pretzels that never have enough salt on them. Or bazooka gum. Now, I love me some bazooka gum maybe once every 10 years until I bite into it and remember how fucking hard that gum is and how spicy it is. I don't like spicy bubblegum. I just don't. It's a personal preference. I love the Bazooka Joe comics. You can't really read them because they still put them on wax paper and it still bleeds. So they're always blurry. I don't understand. They've been in business how many decades upon decades? They can't figure out how to print those goddamn cartoons so you could read them. But yeah, bazooka gum has to be the worst in the world. We love it for the nostalgia until we eat it, and then we go, okay, this is why I don't eat this gum anymore because it hurts. That has actually cut into my gums and gave me a gum infection one time because it literally like scraped all the skin off my gum. I was like, see, why do I do this to myself? Tangent number 497 at your service. I was afraid we'd get rain too last. Very cloudy, but so far looks like no rain. Well, it's very cloudy here and very overcast, but they're not saying any kind of rain until like 1 a.m. So we should be good. Elephants. I'm an hour behind. So hi. We're our own worst critics. Yep. My kids have different costumes they play with during imagination pretend time. That's good. That's visualization time and dramatization. So you're doing very well as far as stations for kindergarten. My son has a Clifford the Big Red Dog costume, while my daughter has a black skirt and pink cardigan. Is Emily Elizabeth? Aw, that's so cute. Oh, I love little ones. Here, but a little behind. Switching to phone. I had to eat before I get shamed. Yes, you have to eat. Eating is important. As long as it's not me, I don't. It's so weird to like go out into the kitchen and I look and I'm like, is there anything like you bitch about leftovers? I'm not seeing any leftovers in this fridge. Oh well, there's like the chicken's feet. I'm not eating fucking chicken's feet. That's why they're leftover because you retarded people want to eat this crap. Like that's why it's still there. Nobody's gonna eat. No, none of me and my 2 kids are not gonna eat chicken's feet. Thank you. Like no. And I appreciate it if you get it the fuck out of the refrigerator because I hate looking at it. But oh, it's just annoying. Their Halloween costumes are my son's a jack-o'-lantern and my daughter's a unicorn. Unicorn! It's one of my favorite movies, by the way. The Last Unicorn. The soundtrack for that is amazing. America sings The Last Unicorn, that I'm Alive. Oh, I like their version and I like Kenny Loggins' version. But America is definitely my favorite. Was it Kenny? No, not Kenny Loggins. No, yeah, what? No, maybe it was Chicago. No, I can't remember who else sang that. My littles are Mickey and Minnie. Yay! Elephant, we don't do Halloween. You don't need to. You don't need to. The same way I don't do St. Patrick's Day. Everybody's like, you're not wearing green. I have green eyes. Leave me alone. I'm also not Irish. Like, but I don't dress up for Christopher Columbus Day either. So, how cute. Yeah. I miss getting dressed up for the kids. Like my kids think I'm nuts if I get dressed up. Connor was going through one of the bins. He goes, "Why do you have so many headbands?" I was like, "Headbands?" He found my kindergarten headband collection. Oh, a ladybug just landed on the outside of my window. So I have like the Christmas headbands. I have like antlers and bells. I have ones for Halloween. I have ones for Columbus Day. They have little like ships on them. I have St. Patrick's Day. And there are ones that are custom made that I made them because we had to celebrate with the kids. And it's rather than me make a whole freaking costume, making a headband is so much easier. So much easier. Just get a couple plain headbands, some decorations, a hot glue gun, you're good to go. And I would deck out like everybody, like all the aides would get them, all the co-teachers would get them. Marty would get them, and I'd take pictures of them and put them in the paper, because we had a school newspaper. But tons of pictures of him looking absolutely ridiculous. It's hilarious. That's what made him so popular, because he seems so relatable and he's such a dick. But I would have made a great PR person because I'm very good at like optics. I'm very good at figuring out what people want to say. It's just nobody listens to me, so it's just like, all right, fuck you. Hey, cool gamer. What's up? It's very hard to tell people, look, I know this is what you're doing, but this is what's coming across, or this is how you think you look, but this is how you're being seen. Like, I try to tell them what the perception is rather than what they think their perception is. What is the, opposing perception? What's the perception from the outside in? Here you go. This is feedback you can use. Maybe you want to tweak this because they're looking for this, but nobody listens. It's like, all right. And then people love tell me what to do. It's like, okay. Thomas, what's up? Well, could be trying to say it was an aquatic ancient god like Cthulhu would say it. Okay. Thomas. That's from what? Is that from the Eternals? Cthulhu? I actually have that speech pattern down pretty well, creeped out. Someone I know so bad he refused to come to a coffee shop for a week, nearly for fear of seeing something messed up on their way there. Now, see, I was going to do a tarot card reading today because I haven't done one for myself in the new house. And, it's Halloween. The veil is thin. I would get a lot more answers than, I normally would for myself. Anybody else, I could do readings for anybody else at any time. But for myself, it's very hard for me to do a self-read. But on Halloween, it does seem to be easier for me. And I was going to do one. And then I was like, bitch, you get 7 days of bad luck after you do a tarot card reading. And we have an election in 5 days. Don't you dare. So no, the cards are on the windowsill. They will keep charging in moonlight for like another month or two before I even go near them. I might even wait till after the inauguration because I can't. I cannot put any kind of like bad juju out there at all. Like I need all good mojo to be in effect. But yeah, I totally get you. But I really wanted to do it, and I was like, yeah, no, don't spit in the wind. Last night I wanted to name my first son Javier and call him Javi. That's cute. But having dated a dude named Javier, they hate being called Javi. Hate it. He was adamant that you do not call, so only his mother called him that. Because she's the only one who can get away with it. He was my junior prom date. Lady said, my first husband's family is real country, and my ex said his side of the family wouldn't be able to say it. They can't say Javi? I mean, is there something wrong with their tongues? We weren't conducting classes on how to pronounce the baby's name. Yeah. Girl. I feel for you. I do. Wow, that kind of I got no words for you, Les. I've been there, so I get it. But yeah, he's a special kind of person. That's all I'm going to say about that because I'll feel violent. Thomas Anderson. Apparently, the last time he said the name Cthulhu, he was in a car that an animal was hit by another vehicle ahead of them. And the car had the top down, so we drove basically under the animal as it was jumping into the air, clawing at its open head due to some sort of twitching caused by the brain being exposed. What? What did I just read? Okay. No, I haven't had coffee. I haven't had coffee in like 2 weeks, so I definitely can't. Did it happen or was it a crazy story? I have no idea. I hope it was just a crazy idea he concocted for people to gross them out. But I mean, yeah, that's brain penis. No, thank you. Cursing is more effective the less often it's used since it's intended to be shocking. I don't curse to be effective. I curse to fucking feel better. Because that's what it does for me. Oh, little D Danielle. Hi, honey. Happy Halloween. You're probably gone by now because it's been almost an hour. Just want to say I love you and happy Halloween. We need to catch up soon when we both aren't so busy. Absolutely, babe. Hit me up. Hit me up. Elephant. Yay, I'm caught up. I'm not. Do you know some good news for deep hair conditioning that is natural? Oh, you're asking Lady Awesome. Absolutely. By the way, coconut oil helps my ends dramatically. And I don't have to put a lot. Just do it like once a month, a little bit. And then I put my I take my hair and I put it in a like Ziploc bag and I put a scrunchie around the Ziploc bag to really like lock in the moisture. I do that for like a half an hour. Take it off, wash my hair again, and I'm good to go. It stops my flyaways. It helps my curls. Oh my God, I forgot about that one. How I don't know. Thanks for reminding me. I'll be singing as soon as my twins wake up. I love that song. I absolutely love it. It's my favorite. And I had to look up the lyrics because I couldn't figure remember them. I sang it to Winning the other night. He was just like, God, the things I do for this woman. Do you have a place to buy that? Are you looking for a recipe? There we go. It's treating the well water. I don't yet. Thank you for validation. I need to make and sell some stuff. I'll be buying jars next week to make. You definitely should sell stuff. Oh my goodness. I would definitely buy. I'll send you a recipe in Discord. I'm just going through chat, guys. I'm catching up quickly. Hold on. I need to get my old phone. Castro! Happy Halloween, Castro. How are you? Are you dressing up the horses? Come on, you got to put a cowboy hat on at least one of them and take a picture. Get a straw hat. You got a sombrero? Oh, put a sombrero on a horse. I want to see that. If chat is not an hour behind, I'm going to wallow in disappointment. I mean, almost. Almost. If I didn't say hi to everybody, hi. That was from Ellie. Shelly is violent today. Someone throw chocolate at her. I mean, I haven't had chocolate in, oh my goodness, a month. My son got me like a small chocolate bar. Oh my God, it made me so sick. I hadn't had any like sugar in like a month, except in like, bread or whatever, like natural sugar. Really not natural, but I can't escape it. I had that chocolate bar. Oh my God, I was so sick. I was so sick. So even though I want chocolate, I'm like, I want it, but I don't. So I don't have it. So it's one way to go without. You just don't buy it. And since I'm trapped in this fucking house, it's not like I'm getting to a store. Violent Shelly is the best Shelly. Well, at least most entertaining. Well, that's what I'm here for. Ba-dum. Cha. I am here to entertain. Hey, nerd. Is that silly Snips? No, my icon, that's my Sheba. That's the one that passed away. That like devastated me. She would let me do anything I wanted to her. So that's her little witch's hat. She was like, okay, I look cute. She wouldn't lay there until I showed her how cute she was. Then she laid down for the real picture. Nerd is here. Hide. Not the best, Shelly, if you're the target. Yeah, really not. Spooky Snips. That's why you'd never want to be the target. We need a what was I talking about on a t-shirt? Oh, I'm going to write that down. That's why I made the squirrel t-shirt. What? Do I say what was I talking about? What was I saying? What was I talking about? What was I talking about? Yeah, I say both. That's definitely going on a t-shirt. Uh, well, I'm great at dodging women's violence. Nice. Nice. It's always good to have a skill. I have x-ray vision. No one can hide. What? That's every mother in the world. I'm like Neo. Yeah, you could bend like that. That's impressive because even I can't bend like that anymore. Used to, not anymore. Um, I'm in lunch break right now, short break from the kids. Nice, nice. We didn't get breaks on Halloween because in kindergarten, Halloween is like it's go time from 5 minutes before they get there until about an hour after they leave. We're more supercharged and exhausted than they are. But I used to save all like the snacks for right before they went home. And be like, here you go, kids. Go ahead. We got 15 minutes till your parents pick you up. Have at it. Have fun at the Ragamuffin Parade because shit. You ain't sticking me with a bunch of kids who just had like a whole snack. Nuh-uh, not this girl. Mm-mm. This ain't my first day on the job. Not my first rodeo. Mm-mm. That's when I used to love. They'd be like, "Oh, we want to have a birthday celebration, so we're gonna bring in cupcakes." So we want to do it at like 10. No, all cupcake, any kind of celebration that involves food has to be done at 2:15, so that they are ready to pack up at 2:30, and their ass is out the door at 2:45, and it is your sugar problem by 3. Bye. Like, nope. You ain't sticking me with 25 kids hopped up on sugar. Fuck out of here. I used to make tattoos out of elastic waistband. Oh, tutus tattoo. Sorry, Heidi. I'm having a hard time reading today. I used to make tutus. There we go. Tutus. That's such a funny word. Out of elastic waistband tool and crinoline for my daughters for dress up Halloween and one of their, yeah, for their dance performances. My friend Zuma did that for her entire pre-K class. When I tell you that I spent hours with her on the speakerphone just listening to her curse. She was like, I can't feel my goddamn fingers. Why did I do this? Because you love the kids. No, I fucking know. Yes, you do. Yeah, I do. But god damn it, my whole house is covered in tools. It's listening to her make it the first time when she didn't have the hang of it yet was hilarious. Because this is a very conservative, sedate woman. And she cursed like a sailor on leave who used to be a trucker who was in the freaking military 8 generations, back. Like she fucking, I was, oh, and she was like, what? You said worse. I said, one, no, I haven't. I was like, which is really impressive. But I'm not used to you being all gutterish and vulgar and crude. That's my job. She was like, I know. But god damn son of I mean, I was like, God damn it. If it was bleeped, it would beep, 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 beep. It would just put in a whole bleep. She cursed forever. She freaking cut herself. She stabbed herself with the needle. I was like, why are you using the needle? She was like, because you got to sew them. I was like, why don't you just make them double long and then you could loop them up? God damn, why didn't you tell me that an hour ago? Because I didn't know that you were sewing them on individually, you stupid ass. Like, it's elastic. You got to be able to move them. It's just, oh my God, I didn't think of that. Yeah, because if the kid stretches out the elastic, you're going to have big patches that have like no crinoline. And she was just like, why don't you make these goddamn things? I was like, I'm just telling you the better ways. Well, you could have told me an hour ago. I didn't know you were making them wrong. I'm not in front of you. I'm on the phone. I am psycho, not psychic. There's a difference. We keep going over this. But it's funny because like Zuma, she's very reserved. But when she lets go, she lets go. And they're like, wow, your Shelly's coming out. And I'm like, thanks. They're like, what? No, it's good. Okay. But yeah, I'm her friend in her head. I didn't know that until we were friends for like 3 years. And we're sitting at a pizzeria during lunch because we work together. Um, we ran to the pizzeria for lunch. We're sitting there eating our pizzas, and she goes, "You know, you're my friend in my head." And I was just like, "What?" And "You're my friend in my head. I'm your friend I'm your friend in front of your head. Like I'm right here." She was like, "No, like in my head when you're not around." She's like, "That voice I hear, that's your voice." I was like, "I'm your conscience because you're fucked if I am." And she was like, "No." She was like, "But when I'm thinking of like a decision, I hear like you telling me no, no, no. Like I hear you breaking it down." And I was like, okay. So jokingly, I told Christine, I was like, "Did you know Zuma's got a friend in her head?" She was like, "I do too. It's you." I was, I was like, "Why am I your friend in your head?" She was like, "We've been friends since we're 18 years old. Like, who else was going to be my friend in my head? Donna?" She was like, "No." She's like, "I hear your voice in my head telling me I'm being stupid or go do this or, I'll be more confident. You're so beautiful." Da, da, da. I was like, "Oh," I was like, "I say really nice things in your head." She was like, "Yeah, you do." She was like, "But you say nice things regular." She's like, "But yeah, you're my friend in my head." I was like, "I don't have a friend in my head. It's just me in there." And she was like, "What do you mean you don't have a friend in your head?" I was like, "None of you. I don't hear any of you. Like, occasionally I'll have something that reminds me of something you said, but you're not avidly talking to me in my head." And she was like, "No, you talk to me all the time in my head." Okay. Same thing with Zuma. I talk to her all the time in her head. I find out about a year ago, Veronica is of the same affliction. She talks to me in her head all the time. But she also goes a step further. She talks to me out loud, even though I'm not there. And then she answers herself the way she thinks I would answer her with my voice. That's the part that kills me because she's like, "Oh, no, you answer me back." She's like, "You tell me off all the time." I'm like, "Bitch, I'm not even there. How am I?" She's like, "Because I know what you would say." So I have become so well versed to these people that they no longer need me in their life. They have an AI of me in their brains telling them that they're retarded when they do something stupid or telling them like different quips to come up with when somebody pisses them off because they're like, "Oh, I don't know what to say. Shelly would know what to say. Shelly would say, da, da, da. I'm going to say that." They go and say that. They're like, "Ah, that worked." It's like, whatever. I love my friends. I do. I miss them, but I think it's a little extreme that I'm their voice of reason. And it's the same for Rachel. But see, she didn't need me around after a while because she had me in her head. So she didn't need me in person. That's kind of fucked up. I don't hear a lot of people in my head. Occasionally I'll hear my grandmother in my head telling me off. But I mean, that's to be expected. My mother, no. My kids, no. Sometimes I hear winning in my head telling me, "Don't do that." I'm like, "Let me tread lightly, tread lightly." I got a lot of people who tell me not to do things. A lot of people. And I don't listen to any of them because the one way to get me to do something is to tell me not to do it. I really don't like being told what to do. I really don't. It's different if it's like your man or whatever like that. For me, that's different. That's a whole thing. But if you're just gonna come out of your face and tell me what to do, that's anybody. You're gonna find the not so nice side of me, or you're gonna find my absence. Those are the two things. You get my anger or my absence. AA. You want column A or you want column A? Because you are SOL. Uh PSA super glue does not belong on your face. No, but it made for a really funny fucking morning, let me tell you. I went to work in the best mood. Marty was like, "What is wrong with you?" Because I went in like, "Marty!" They were like, I was, and he knows Prudence because, Hoboken, he's small as shit. And what you call it? I was like, "Oh, Prudence called me like 6:30 this morning. She FaceTimed me." He was like, "Why?" I was like, first of all, I was in the shower. I was thinking I had to answer it because who the hell's calling me at 6:30 in the morning? I said, so I'm in the shower and I'm looking at it. She was like, "Bitch, are you naked?" Yes, I'm naked. You can't see nothing. Like, what is your problem? And then I saw her face. Up. It's the best. But when I told him, he was like, "Oh my God, that made my day." Because I could see him because he's not looking at me when I'm talking. He's picturing it because he's like off in the distance. And as soon as I said the pearl necklace thing, he was gone. That was it. It was like, and of course, he had some not so nice things to say about her teenage years. And I was like, "We're not going there. Oh, we're not going there." I was like, "Because we're going to go into stories. I got quite a few about you." And he was like, "Not with that." I was like, "Not with that." But I mean, do we want to talk about parents coming onto school buses to kick your ass? No. Let it go. Let it go. Quick with it. Love that. Shelly's on Top Chat. No, I'm not. You can't do Top Chat and StreamYards. StreamYards gives it to you the way they feel like giving it to you. And if they don't want to give it to you, they don't. They ate my whole chat the other day. You guys didn't notice. I was in here and I'm talking, and all of a sudden, chat was just gone. It was just blank. And I was like, "What the fuck?" So I had to go and I had to go into my YouTube live instead of going to StreamYard to see what you guys were writing and to try to get. That's why it took me so long because I was like, I don't know what happened. Where did it go? Because I was freaking out. I was like, "Where the hell did my chat go?" I was like an hour behind. It was just gone. Just gone. But I caught up. We had cases of hypodermic needles and broken razor blades and Halloween candies, apples, popcorn balls, and candy back in the day. Then it resurged for a short time when my oldest went trick or treating. Yeah, that's what we had, Heidi. You got to be around my age, right? I mean, you're probably younger than me, but yeah, that was the whole thing with the razor blades and hypodermic needles. They did the same thing with the damn Tylenol at the same time. Like they were trying to like inject the Tylenol capsules with bullshit. It was like, ugh. See if I can have my phone. I prefer a Medigo Vespucci Day. Columbus was second place. That's so funny. A Medigo Vespucci. If you can't let me know, I have jars by next week. Well, I got lunchroom duty. Yeah, no, they actually offered to pay me extra to do that, and I told them to go fuck themselves double. Because no, I had my kindergartners. My kindergartners ate lunch in the classroom. They weren't allowed to go to the cafeteria. That was a school rule because we had way too many kindergartners. So I mean, I had lunch duty with them in the room every day. That was, and then when they were done, I would go to lunch. But lunch duty in the cafeteria, no, no. Marty tried to strong arm me into that once. I was like, "Nope, I'll quit." What? I was like, "No, no, those kids don't listen. It's disgusting. It's hot down there. Nope, not doing it." There's not one window, and it's all cobblestone, all cinder block walls, so the fucking room echoes, and they're loud as hell. Nope, not doing it. Nope. He was like, "I'll pay you double." Nope. There is not a price tag you could put on that would make me work with those children, then come back up and work with them again. Nope. Like, you want me to make it through the afternoon session of school, then I'm not going to lunch duty. I can tell you that. I know how much patience I have, and that would deplete my stash. Nope. 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 God, he used to beg. I just think, nope, is the one thing I won't do. Oh, there's a hornet outside my window. You better keep trucking. Listen, you fucker. You see this? You see this fly swatter? Yeah. Go away. Nah, go away. I don't care that you're outside. Get the hell out. Sitting there being all friggin' evil. Columbus never made it to the mainland. Yeah, I don't care. What do I care? Uh, it's a day off. That's what that used to mean to us. And then they stopped giving us the day off and we stopped giving a shit. Um, have fun, nerd. What did you say? He said, I got lunchroom duty local you all instead of love you all. We local you as well. Some of us even rumble you. Uh oh yeah, coffee. I've been wanting to try whipped honey in my latte. I'm gonna try it now. I bought I just bought a really nice bottle of ghee to make the bulletproof coffee. Since I'm doing a whole like cleanse of my system for the last couple of weeks, I might as well kickstart it. Uh do. Happy Halloween, Castro. How are you doing, honey? I hope you're well. Eat dark chocolate, less sugar. I'm talking like 90% dark. Yeah, the 90% cacao. I love dark chocolate. But these people don't buy me shit that I ask them to buy me. So it's like, okay. I just stopped asking. What's the point of asking for things if nobody ever picks them up? So I can't order things. I can't buy things online and have them shipped here. Can't get deliveries. Can't get them to get me the stuff I want at the store. So it's just like, fuck it. At this point, it's just me sitting here existing until everybody else is gone. Like that's what my life is right now. Just outlasting everybody who's giving me a hard time. Look up Arabian native costume. This is what we're thinking. We don't do. Oh, my black mare would look so pretty in teal. Aw, Arabian native costume. Where am I? I better not pull up anything weird. Okay, Scottsdale Arabian horse shit. I ain't getting any costume. Oh, all right. Oh my God, Arabian native costume for a horse, $1,300. Fuck out of here. No, see, we need to see this. Give me a second. Look at this. Do y'all see this? Do you see the price on this? eBay $1,300 and then $78 for that. Fuck out of here. $1,400 for this? I'm in the wrong business. I know you like all these, right? Arabian horse idea. I am not looking at those costumes. But look at this. Look. Huh. Oh, well, you get the reins, the bridle, you get the stirrups. Those are stirrups. Is that the bridle? That's the bridle. Or the bit. I don't know the names. Oh, and then you get to wear that, Castro. Or do you? Oh, definitely. Oh my goodness. That would be hilarious. Come on, you gotta wear the Sheik's thing with the harem outfit. Oh, come on. Oh, that's the one. That's the one. You could either put a thing on your head and be a Sheik, or you could put like a bowl with the horn on top and you could be a Cossack. Right. It has multiple purposes. Oh my God, that's hilarious. That is hilarious. Oh my God, could you even see it? You probably couldn't. Son of a bitch. Wait a second. I can't believe I did that. So I shared it, but I didn't share the goddamn screen. Because I am retarded. There we go. All right. So this is $1,400 with tax. But I was saying it comes with all these different things. Like there's the blanket, you got the bridle. There's got to be stirrups. There's, I'm assuming that's a stirrup. I can't even tell. You get the cape, but then you get to the outfit, and I said, "This is the outfit." This is the outfit, and then there's the headdress, right? The sheik's headdress or whatever that you want to call that. But this one is the one. Like he could put a headdress on and be like a harem chief or whatever. What the hell do they call them? A sultan. Or he could put a bowl with a spike on top and it could be a Cossack. It has multi uses. If you dress up your horse, you have to dress up as well. That's the rule. That's the rule. And you have to match. So there you go. Anyway, so I had to show you that. Oh, God damn it. Oh, I'll just leave her big for now. It's fine. The teal is nice, though. I want chocolate. Now I want chocolate, of course. But not going to walk in the wind to the corner store to get some for the weather. You better hope it's warmer tomorrow because you know all the candy's on clearance tomorrow, right? That's when you go buy it. I don't think I've ever seen a group of women in an office get so excited as they do the day after Halloween, Christmas, and Easter to run out of the office at 8 o'clock in the morning across the street to CVS to buy out their entire stock of 75% off chocolate. That's what my whole office used to do. And I would laugh because they'd be like, "You're not coming?" No, bitch, I went there at 7 o'clock. What are you, nuts? I got the good shit. Like, I don't play around. I'm not waiting for your asses to get to work and then take all the candy that my kids want or that I want. No, I went in and I took the pick of the litter and that was it. And then I'd put it all in the drawer, ready to go home. They'd be like, "You coming?" No, I'm good. "You don't want to go buy any candy?" No. And they'd buy me candy. I'd be like, "You idiots." But they had to do everything. See, that's the thing. They had to do everything as a group in my office. Oh my, we're going for lunch. How many people are going to lunch? 12. Yeah, no, I'll be here. 12 people is a lot of people for me. That's a lot for me to deal with on the street. Like, it's a lot. Like, if you say 2 people are going, yeah, all right, maybe. 3, that's too many. That's too many people for me. I'm good with like 2 people. 1 person is better. By myself is the best. I never had a problem going to stores by myself, going shopping by myself, going to a movie by myself, going to eat by myself. It never, ever bothered me because I was always used to being the one with the car. So I was always going here, going there, doing whatever, in between picking this one up, taking this one there, whatever. I'm used to just being on my own. So for me to have to coordinate with somebody else and sit there and wait for them and wait, it's like pulling teeth for me. It's horrible. I hate waiting for people. I'm always early. I hate waiting for people. Now with the whole online thing, sometimes I'm late. But you notice, guys, I don't like to stream late. I will cancel a stream rather than go late because it bothers me that I'm late. It's weird. I know. Those costumes are beautiful. I bet your horse would look great. My horse was like the ugly duckling. She was a homely looking baby. Aw. And matured into one of the most beautiful horses I've ever seen. Well, that's because you cared for her and you loved her. And maybe that's what she needed. The other 3 are nice, but this one is stunning. Well, make sure she knows it. And make the other ones feel good too. Come on now. Fairness. I hear you about the numb fingers. I would stretch out the band safety pin, the ends, the back of the chair, tied on each chair. Yep. She went through that whole thing. The crinoline with the slip loop knot. Yes. Took hours. And from the fabric, like the pattern of the fabric, because it's mesh, it literally abrades your skin over and over and over. And you don't realize it. You can actually, her skin was like raw. And I was just like, oh my God, why didn't you wear gloves? She was like, what kind of freak girl? You could have worn just like deli gloves. Like you didn't have to wear latex gloves. You didn't have to wear the rubber ones. You wear the friggin' slippery ones, and it would have whoop, whoop. Nah, it would have been a pain in the. Well, then don't bitch to me about your friggin' calluses and your boo boos. Like if you don't want solutions, don't come to me with problems. But yeah, no, her hands were so fucked up. We did the same thing when we were tie dyeing all the shirts for field day because we had 8 kindergarten classes and then we had the ABA and we had the pre-K that came with us all the time because they were by themselves. Uh, so we did the t-shirts for the kids. Each classroom got a different color, but we did tie dye. So guess who got to put the rubber bands on all those 150 plus t-shirts? We're not talking 1 or 2 rubber bands. No, this teacher wants this certain pattern. This teacher wants that certain pattern. So I had to not only know which ones went to what, but I had to put all the rubber bands on. Then I had to dye them. And I was not taking that shit home to dye. I dyed that shit right in the big beer buckets, the ones with the rope handles in my classroom. I didn't give a shit. Like I cordoned off half of the classroom because I had a gigantic classroom, and we had tubs, and I had them filled with water and filled with dye, and sitting there like a freaking witch with her brew, like stirring these damn pots with all these like t-shirts in them. But oh my god, at the end of the day, when we finished like cutting off all the rubber bands, because you got to take them off, cut the rubber bands off, lay them out to dry. Yeah. Okay. I literally had splashes of dye everywhere. I just looked bespeckled. Like I was polka dotted from my head all the way down. And thankfully, I wasn't the only one because I had like 3 other teachers there with me doing it. But yeah, our clothes were ruined. Everything was ruined. It was like, whatever. The first year, we didn't know. The second year, we learned wear old shit and put down like shower curtains and tablecloths, and we're good. So by the time year 5 came around, I could tie dye 400 or 500 shirts without even blinking. But yeah, my hands were black because you had red and you had yellow and green and blue and purple, and like everything. And just your hands are just, even with the gloves, it would go right through the gloves. You get holes in the gloves, they'd split, it would get inside the glove, and then you're just marinating your fingers in it. It was terrible. We had so much fun though. It was all worth it. It was always worth it when the kids got to see them, and the pictures were always amazing. Yeah, you can tie dye a tutu, take the tutu, dye the tutu, drop it in the dye, let it dry. Now tear the tutu in 2. Now you have 2 tutus to tie dye. That was really hard to say. Here we go, Castro. You can tie dye a tutu too. Take the tutu, tie the tutu, drop it in the dye, let it dry. Now tear the tutu in 2. Now you have 2 tutus to tie dye. I did it. That was a good one though. That was fun. Do it again. Do it again. Close enough to your age. You're younger than my oldest sis. Oh, all right. So we do know the same generational issues. Shelly, can we keep an Amazon list for things we want to give you? No, don't see it. Yeah, don't see it. No, don't see it. Boomer, we don't see. What don't you see? Shelly doesn't see us saying, no, we can't see it. No, you can't see. Oh, you can't see the thing. I know, but then I pulled it back up. See, I caught on. Can we keep an Amazon list for things we want to gift you? I mean, yeah, I did have a wish list at one point, then I got rid of it because it seemed pointless. I don't know how to make it so you can add stuff. But I mean, yeah, I guess. I don't know. I'll see later and see if there's a way for me to do that. I'm very bad with that kind of stuff. I am not tech savvy when it comes to lists at all. I'm good when I'm registering other people. For me, not so much. But yeah, no, I can put up a wish list link at some point. I have the Amazon, so I'll do that, even though you get me in trouble. I won't get in trouble if I'm not the one sending it to me, apparently. There it is. Still can't see, but all right, you can see it. Well, you can't see it now because it's not that time. I'm almost caught up. Oh my goodness. Hey, came to say bye, most likely. Keep getting called away. Happy Halloween. Happy Halloween, and yeah, love you, girl. It's 2.5 miles round trip to walk to DG, Dollar General, to buy clearance Halloween candy. Nope. See, we have like, well, I had CVS right across the street from my school, and I had CVS right across the street from my job. And the other school that I went to had ShopRite right across the street. So no matter where I went, the candy was 75% off. Extending the chat for Shelly. I mean, I'm not going anywhere. If they're getting mad about people giving you gifts, they can go. Don't let her catch up. Don't let her catch up. Don't let her do it. We should really. I'm sorry, but this. I need to do the veiled rude dance for Halloween. Here we go. But for Halloween, I love that one. I mean, technically, I never have to get dressed up for Halloween. I could just keep playing Winnings refacing videos because I'm always somebody different. Gotta be you. You rude? I'm rude? Wait. You took the words out of my mouth. Why you gotta be rude? I don't know how to read that. There's too many of you. God damn it. Because you took the words right out of my mouth. Must have been as you were kissing me. Meatloaf. Oh, maybe I'll make that for dinner. I mean, obviously not him because he's dead and I'm not a cannibal, but regular meatloaf might be good. Maybe, I can make meatloaf. We have bacon. I can layer it with cheddar cheese and bacon. Make a stuffed meatloaf. That would be good. Ooh, we love stuffed meatloaf here. Keep going, word. Oh my, you're so funny. Y'all are a bunch of fucking ball busters. You really are. And I love you for it. All right, so it's Halloween. Now I can get to my scripted bullshit that I wrote out. What's Halloween? Halloween's a big fear thing, right? And you wonder what causes fear? Like, what are we afraid of? Lately, I've been inundated with fear that I can't really do anything about. Thinking about what's coming, thinking about the election, thinking about, the inauguration, thinking about all the time in between, thinking about civil wars, thinking about, there being more hardships, thinking about food shortages, thinking about, water contamination, thinking about civil unrest, more loss of autonomy, more loss of freedom, more violence, more loss of the voice that I have. Like, it's very hard for somebody like me who likes to talk to be told, no, you can't say certain things. Because, of course, that's all my brain is going to want to talk about now. Like, if you tell me you can't say this, I want to say it 3 times. So, like, it's very difficult for me. And I'm afraid that we're going to lose, our rights, our constitutional rights, our human rights as we're going forward. And it is a constant fear. But who put that fear in me? I mean, it's not organic to me or my personality. I'm a reckless type of person. I've always been very reckless. Am I a worrier? Yes. About me? No. About other people? Yes. I worry about other people. I don't worry about me so much. With me, I roll the dice every time. Because let's face it, if I die, it'll be all right. But I don't want anybody else to suffer, But I've always been reckless. I'm the person that laughs when shit goes to hell. Like, if it's something for you, I will cry with you. If it's something where you hurt my feelings, I'll cry. If it's something where like there's a broken bone, I'm your girl. I'm calm. I'm in the moment. I'm laughing, going, how the hell did you manage this? Because the big stuff doesn't affect me. It's the little shit that bothers me. But the big stuff, I'm like, bring it. Come on, let's go. Like I've always been that person. I'm stronger than most people would believe. I mean, I know I get on here and I'm all weepy and cry because I'm working through some shit. Because being strong all the time isn't sustainable. Not for me. Being reckless is not sustainable. Not for me. Like that's a huge part of my personality, but I'm trying to get better. So I have to work through those traumas that made me feel like being reckless was an okay thing to be. But I'm stronger. Like I think people look at somebody who's talking about their traumas and they're sharing things that other people are like, oh, I would keep that private. Well, that's you. You're not me. I tried it your way. I tried being quiet. You know what it made? It made for a very angry person. It made for somebody who trusted nobody. And it made for somebody who turned her emotions off so that she didn't care anymore. I became so apathetic. I would literally, even if I'm the type of person, even if I don't like you, I'm going to help you if you absolutely need it. But I got to the point where like I could just kind of dislike you a little bit today. And if you were on fire, I wouldn't even pee on you to put you out. Like that's where I was. I was just like, he's on fire. Oh, well, and I just keep going because I just got to the point where I was like, nobody gives a shit about me. I'm not going to give a shit about anybody. And I'm rapidly getting back to that point. But that's a part of me that I don't love, but it's a part of me that I utilize. I've been attacked in pretty much every way. Like every demon I've ever encountered has got me at my most vulnerable. And yet I still made it through. I'm still here. I've survived abusive parents, molestation, neglect, rape, beatings, attempted murder a couple times with Carlos. Lovers who turned out to be murderers. Just being ignorant about the substances that I took when I was younger. I didn't care. I didn't even look. It's just, here, try one of these. I didn't even look at what it was. I just popped it. It was like, whatever. So I've been like spazzed out of my head as a kid, like trying to escape everything. But I mean, I've faced discrimination. I've gone through betrayal and tons of heartbreak, unbelievable, crushing disappointment. I've been through health battles. I've been through battles for my kids, like their health battles. I've been through mental health things. I've been through loads of like role reversals that shouldn't have happened, humiliation, narcissistic abuse, like you name it. And I've probably experienced it at least once. And that's being generous, saying just about once. But all that shit that I've gone through, at the end of the day, so what? I'm here. I made it. I look at what's coming and I'm like, all right, yeah, I feel afraid, but what could they do to you? What fresh hell can they even try to scare you with after what you've been through in your life? What else can they come up with other than what they've done already? If what I went through didn't break me, then these fucks aren't going to break me. I'll be damned. They can't break me, and they can't break you unless we let it. So when I look at it, I'm like, I went through all that. So who put this fear in me that exists now? Like, what keeps me a prisoner in my own head? I mean, let alone my own house, but like, what did that? And I was thinking about it, and I was like, well, the media, propaganda, Twitter, X definitely can be panic inducing. Just the chatter, the constant chatter and the rumors and the lies and the sensational headlines and these wackadoo titles and these clickbaity things. All my fear is manufactured through the constant onslaught of this information that's designed to make my mind supply worst case scenarios as though they're already in play. Like, what's going on in my head? That's not reality. It's a possible outcome. I mean, look at Marvel. Like, Doctor Strange searched through millions of possible outcomes in Endgame just to have one where things kind of went in their favor. He went through millions of them. My brain doesn't have time to go through millions of outcomes. It takes the worst one and goes, here's the truth. This is the inevitable. Here we go. If you could think of the worst possible thing that's going to happen, if every single domino aligns in a negative way, you will reach this. Well, then there you go, girl. I know where we're going. That's my brain. That is my brain. It's a bit of a downer, it's a bit of a downer, if you ask me. It makes movies exciting, but in real life, not so much. It's hella depressing and discouraging. But my childhood was traumatic with a capital T. It makes me have this thing that they call catastrophic thinking, which I hate. I hate when people bring it up. I hate when people use it as a excuse. So, oh, you're doing the catastrophic thing. It's like, like, you don't have to point it out. Just know that my mind is going to go there. And how about comfort me in the other direction? Encourage me in the other direction. Because that's what I need. I don't need anybody to point out what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. What I need you to do is counter that so I'm not doing it anymore. There you go. Like, I don't need the obvious. I need the assistance. I know what's wrong with me. I'm very self-aware, if you haven't noticed. So when people point out to me, oh, you're doing, how is you stating that in any way helpful except to make me feel worse than now I'm doing something else wrong? Because I love people think they're not critical. They are very critical, and I don't love it. Especially when I literally do everything in my power to make them feel better. But it's called catastrophic thinking, and it's where I see the worst outcomes as not just eventualities or possibilities, as inevitabilities. Like, this is what's going to happen, obviously. I mean, there's no other. Every other scenario is gone from my mind, and now I have the worst case, and this is now truth. So I start living that fear and that pain as soon as I made it real in my head. Instead of thinking, this could happen, that could happen, that could happen, I go right for that thing. And it's like, hello, fear. This is where you've been. Okay. Like, I'm glad I know where you hang out, because that's like my fear center. And who here hasn't done that? I mean, you have the tendency to do that at times. Parents especially tend to do that because we are already looking ahead of what our children are doing, trying to figure out how badly it can go so we can avoid that. We're not trying to make that shit come true. We're trying to be like, okay, like, this is the worst thing that could happen. But if I do this, that takes away that whole oh, good, let's do that. Like, that's how you problem solve for your kids, so you get them ahead and don't like over coddle them. But we all do it. You have that instant spike of fear. Is that you naturally doing that, or is that something that's contrived, something you've been manipulated to feel? The thing with that is it makes us perfect. for other people's purposes. We're ripe for manipulation and mind control. We are ripe for fear mongering, for inducing fear in us and getting us to think we're helpless, and the only source of help is going to be this authoritarian, loud, because they're right in your face. When they know they have you afraid, they're screaming their solution in your face so that you see them as being in a position of power, and you feel helpless. So you're like, well, they're powerful. They're yelling at me, but they're going to protect me. So I'm going to let them do this. And that's how they get your rights taken away. You consent to giving them away. And here's the thing. You consented to give them away. You didn't say you got to give them back. You didn't put a time limit on it. Even if you did, don't give your rights away, because there's no guarantee that they're going to hold up their end of the deal. They could say, oh, we're only going to do this for 6 months. Yeah, how's that Patriot Act working for everybody? 2001, 2002, that went through? How's that working out? Now that they can listen to every single word that you say and you really can't do shit about it. They ever repeal that act? Nope. And they never will. Because they want to monitor you. Hell, they tell you they want to monitor you more. And not just monitor you. We want to listen to everything you say and then punish you if you say something we don't like. But don't worry, we won't let you look bad, because nobody else is going to hear you, because we're going to shadow ban you and we're going to mute you, and we're going to be the only ones who get your message. So keep spewing your message out, because we're the only ones that are listening. We've literally put you in a room where the only people who could hear you are us. That's what they're doing now. That's terrifying to me, because I'm losing a voice in my own life as it is. To think the government wants to deny me one completely? Oh no. That's why this election is super important. It's driving me crazy. I'm so burnt out. I'm so tired of her voice. I'm loving the trolling right now, to be honest, because I need it to be a little funny, because it just got way too like war. And I needed the garbage truck. I needed Trump to show up in a garbage truck wearing the vest. And I needed Vivek and Benny to be on another truck to show up at the same rally. I needed that in my life. I didn't realize I needed it in my life, or the fact that he said that he's wearing that on stage all the time because it makes him look thinner. I did not realize I needed that so much. But apparently I did, because that was fucking gold. I do. I love Trump. He makes me laugh. But he's not a clown who makes me laugh. He's fucking funny. But he's funny in my way. That's somebody who takes no shit, who understands that the world is out to fuck you. They are. They're out to fuck you over, and you got to be strong, and you got to be tough. And if people think that what you say came out mean, oh well, do you get shit done? Yep. Are you going to be appreciated for it? No, not always. Not always. They'll turn around, they'll call you mean. They'll say you're too abrasive. I get Trump. I do. Because I'm the one who would call you a bitch to your face, hug the shit out of you to make you feel better, and then smack you in the back of the head for being an idiot, and then say, come on, we're going to lunch, I'm buying. Trump is literally like, we were raised with those same kind of personality quirks. I get him. I get how hard it is for him to get out there every day and put a smile on his face and not say the bullshit that he wants to say about these people who are talking nonstop about him, about his family, about whatever, who are lying on him. I get how hard it is to hold your tongue and don't say nothing. Don't say it. I sit there going, dude, don't say it. I could see it on your face. I can see it. Do not unload on all of them, because they'll hold it against you. Only they're allowed to unload, apparently. Because that's the way it goes. But anyway, I got off topic. Yeah, I was thinking, like, what do we do? What do we do to combat that fear? Because it's a very inorganic fear. It does not belong in your brain, in your body. That's why I think half of us get so sick from it, because it's not something that we should be afraid of. It's not a natural fear. This is not like you're walking down the street late at night, it's dark, and you have that instinctual fear of you might be somebody's prey, because you might be. That is an actual scenario where fear aids you by making you more alert. It makes you faster, it gets your heart pumping, it gets your adrenaline going, so that if you have to do the fight or flight, you can. Now we're just in this constant anxiety fear state. Social media, you can't tell what's true, what's not true. As soon as it comes out, you got to wait for more corroboration. You got to wait for more people to say it. And sometimes you could have 100 people saying the same thing that has been verified, and a day later you find out it was all bullshit. And then you're like, well, we all look stupid. And then you got to do the mea culpas going around. And it's frustrating. And it is like, oh my God, I want to say this, but what if it turns out that this data isn't right? Or what? Because this proves my whole point. But am I using this because it's good data, or am I using it because it's confirming the bias I have, or the idea I have, or whatever? And these are things that go through my head all the time, and it's enough to drive you crazy. But the one thing that I realized that helps me, especially lately, is when I do turn to religion a lot. And I'm like, you know what? Like, everything I've been doing, I'm like, all right, I'm at the end of my rope, but you know what? God got this. He's got this. And I have to tell myself, dude, like, he's in the driver's seat. You need to not be a backseat driver. Like that invisible side brake on the passenger side, it doesn't work. It's not going to help you in this scenario. You can stomp your foot as much as you want. You are not driving this bitch. So you just got to sit back and be like, all right, God, you driving. Do me proud. Like, you got to trust him to know what he's doing. All these things I can't control, God can. The things I can't change, God can do it. And he will, if it's necessary. All my pain, sadness, it won't go on forever. And when God chooses, he'll transform it into peace and bliss, right? That's what I put in my head. Every single thing I go through is temporary. The only permanent is the eternity that I'm promised, if I do what I'm supposed to do. God's allowed me to go through hell on earth. Why? So that I would have an appreciation for actual joy and kindness and honesty. I didn't even think I was capable of half the things I feel now, because I was so turned off from the world. He made it so that I stopped and I savored every ounce of love that I got, every bit of tenderness. I mean, he stripped me of my dignity, my security, my dreams, until I literally was just bare bones at death's door, and I was given a choice, face the pain and the fear, or, stay in line, keep stagnant, and get stuck in your fear and die way too soon. And I chose to live, and I chose to live. I made that choice. I saw the light coming for me, and I chose to live in that light, to let the light in. I made the choice, and God was there. When I was ready to make that choice, he was right there. That light gave me the will to live. And I asked God for help because I knew I would stumble. I knew I would. I knew I would never be able to do everything and keep that momentum up and not backslide. So I asked God to give me what I needed. So you don't have to heal me. I'm not asking for miracles. Just can you give me what I need to get better? And he did. He did. He gave me what I needed and so much more. He removed me from a toxic relationship, placed me in one that enabled me to learn, grow stronger, be more like myself. He gave me you guys, he gave me a crowd that understood me. He opened my eyes to lies and deception and corruption in the world, both in like leaders and in individuals that I was interacting with. He gave me the inspiration to take my health into my own hands and follow my common sense and use like a little ingenuity and faith so that I could see what was poisoning me and remove that from my life. So that I could, reject a lot of the more modern pharmaceutical medical practices and go with the more holistic thing that was kinder to my body, kinder to my system. Didn't give me brain fog. He removed all that pharmaceutical toxic shit from my body and he cleared my mind out, and I'm 100 times better than I was a year ago. 100 times better. I mean, let's face it, a year ago I was in the hospital. So, yeah, and I haven't been back since. So, he gave me that. He gave me no choice but to face my trauma and pain and fear and heal from it. Like, I didn't have a choice. I could either face it or I was going to wither away. He put love in my heart that I haven't felt in well over 20 years. And he taught me tenderness. He taught me how to be softer. He gave me that opportunity. He gave me peace in silence, which I've never had in my life. Silence makes me very nervous. It makes me terrified because usually when people go quiet, bad things happen to me. So I don't like silence at all. I will fill it at any cost. And I've learned to find peace in the silence. And I still have to check in and go, I know I'm being quiet, but is that okay? Because I don't know. I have to check in. But he did that for me. He gave me the ability to find that peace. He taught me to let go of people who don't want to be there, or who didn't have good intentions. He showed me at the end of the day, I'm okay alone. My heart heals. It forgives. I can forgive even when I know I'll never forget it, and I know that the person isn't sorry, but I have to forgive. Not for them. I have to do it for me. Because holding on to that, why? What purpose does that serve other than to just drain me of energy? I'd rather just get the lesson, absorb it, and move on. Like, it is what it is. For me, forgiveness it's key for me. I really do work on accepting that nothing is in my control exclusively. I mean, yes, there are things that I can direct, but in the end, nothing is my control only. There's always other factors involved. And when I think about God being the one who's navigating that for me, it makes me feel a lot better. It does. Because God has skin in the game when it comes to my life. He's got skin in the game. He's in charge of the playbook. And I got to let him run the plays and trust that he knows what he's doing. Trust that he wants me to serve a purpose. Either way, win or lose, he knows what he's doing. So I gotta kick back and just go, all right, just let me know what you want me to do. Because we are servants of God. We are not here to tell God what to do. We're here to do what God bids us to do. Which I don't think should be that difficult. He wants us to be good to each other. To be honest. To have good hearts. He's not asking for everybody to be a saint. He created us. He knows what we're capable of. He knows what our, our vulnerabilities are. He knows where he screwed up, maybe should have been like, hey, maybe I should have given them a little bit more morals and a little less free will. But it didn't work out that way. This experiment went a different way. But he knows it all. As little as I think of myself and in spite of like all my shame and my guilt or my insecurities, I know that God loves me. I do. I believe that. It feels true to me. And I hold on to that. And the thing is, like, it's funny because no matter what I've done, God will always love me. And I found something out the other day. Did you know that the teachings of Jesus, like in the book of Matthew, Jesus named only one unforgivable sin? Just one. Blasphemy of the Holy Spirit, which would be denial of the light of the Spirit's power. And here's the thing, Jesus is very tricky if you think about it, because he's more clever by far than people ever gave him credit for. It's a rule that in and of itself, if you're worried that you're going to commit this one sin that will forever break you from God completely and lose any chance of redemption with him, if you're worried about that, if you're conflicted about that, that in and of itself means that you'll never commit that sin, because it's impossible to commit that sin of truth. Now, we're not talking about something that you say in anger or like a whim or whatever. This is dyed in the wool. God doesn't exist. The Holy Spirit has no power. Like saying things like that and believing them. If you're afraid God's going to not forgive you or not have a relationship with you because you've committed this sin, then you're never going to commit that sin, because the entire premise is that as long as you want that relationship with God, you can't be in denial of his spirit, in full denial. It's not just full, it's blasphemy. It's saying it doesn't exist. It's not even saying that I hate it or whatever. It's saying it doesn't exist. It never had any power. It never existed, whatever. Like, and believing it, not just saying the words, but believing it in your heart. When you turn from God, then that's when you commit that sin. If you're worried about your relationship with God, then God sees that as your heart is still open to him. He's still in there. That's the loophole that Jesus created. Because as long as you're worried about it, you can't commit it. But by being worried about it, it'll keep you on track to always having some type of relationship with God. Even if it's a fraught one, you still haven't turned him out of your heart. You still believe he exists. You're not going to hate somebody you don't believe exists. You're not. You're not going to, I don't believe in this. It's all imaginary. And then go, in your head, you're like, oh God, but what if he does? Even just that conflict is enough to keep you from committing that one unforgivable sin. So that's why, to me, like, I can forgive anything. I can, unless it's with my kids. Like, unless it's something you did to my kids, that I can't forgive. At least not right away. Maybe someday I would forgive it, but knowing me, I doubt it. But I think forgiveness is the most important thing we can give to ourselves and to each other. There's value in forgiveness. And I think God gets that. God looks at us and he sees us as his. And as long as there's just the tiniest smidgen of hope that we'll come back, once we do and we're repentant, he can forgive us. I don't think he ever loves us any less. But I do think he goes, all right, go do your thing. better come back to me though. Like he waits for it. And I know we must break God's heart. We must. He knows what we're capable of, but I think he's the embodiment of hope, right? I would think he hopes just as much as we do that we don't do the things we do. And I think we constantly disappoint him, but he's always willing to give us another try. Always willing. So to forgive really is divine. If we only had a little bit of that grace to give to other people, think of how much better the world would be. I think it's a sacrifice of pride when you forgive somebody. And I think that's humbling in a way. It takes a lot of strength to forgive. I think it takes more strength to forgive than it does to repent, to feel sorry. It's easy to feel sorry for something. It's not so easy to tell somebody that, yeah, they feel sorry and you're going to forgive them because it's going to make them feel better. You don't want them to feel better because you feel like crap. So you got to sacrifice a little bit of that pettiness, a little bit of that pride, sometimes even a little bit of dignity, because it's hard. It's hard to accept an apology sometimes because you don't want to. But you don't want to be the lesser person either. You want to just, all right, just can we just get through this? Apologies are hard from both sides. Anyway, I know you all face challenges, and you can feel hopeless at times. I want you to remember God doesn't make mistakes. He doesn't make mistakes. He made you, and you are beautiful. You are extraordinary in everything you do. You are authentic, and you are worth everything. God doesn't think that you're low value. God doesn't think that you're not worth a second chance. God gives you perpetual chances day after day after day. He sees beauty in you. He sees brilliance in you. He sees himself in you. In his eyes, you're as unblemished and as perfect as the moment he made you. No matter what's been done to you, no matter what you've been through, no matter what you've done, no matter if you've defiled your body and put piercings and tattoos and whatever, he doesn't see the vessel that you are. He sees what's in the vessel. He sees the quality of you. He made you. He knows what you're capable of. So he knows what your potential is. If you serve no purpose on this earth, you wouldn't be on this earth. So trust in God and in yourself. And don't let the fear win. Don't let these people get in your head and say, this is definite. Nothing is definite. Death and taxes. And maybe with Trump, taxes won't even be definite. But don't let the fear get to you. Halloween fear is better. I like Halloween fear. Now that you guys have stopped fucking with my chat, I can go back. Here we go. Stop. God is in charge. Stop worrying about it. We can't control the world. That's right, Ellie. Well, what can I say? I'm quirky, to put it nicely. I'll still say yes. It took up 2 whole screens. Yep. Your scrolling worked. Yes, it did. We're glad you're here. God's not done with you yet, hon. Aw. I love you guys. The adversary working through things is what can place fear. Yes. Shelly, stepping away from the internet helps with that. Yep. I deleted Facebook. I almost never go on Twitter, and I have limited my YouTube use. Lent helped with that. Yeah, because you were here all the time. And then you were just, I know that you went through like an internet detox. Girl, trust me, I do that where I'll just sink into like reading, just like stories and stuff, or I wind up playing like different puzzle games. I do that a lot. The puzzle games. I do the puzzle games a lot because they help with my cognitive issues. Not just the internet, all media news. Yeah, if that's one thing. If I don't touch Twitter or YouTube for like the whole day, I'm much more relaxed at night. But then I get this weird panic. My FOMO kicks in because I'm like, oh my God, what did I miss out on all fucking day long? Like I'm so far behind. I thought today was Wednesday all day. Today's Thursday, y'all. Yesterday, I thought it was Friday. My days are all screwed up. And according to my mother, we're doing this stupid daylight savings time this weekend. That's going to fuck me up something terrible. I've been cursing a whole lot today because I am so feeling some type of way. The more I curse, the more fragile, I guess, I feel. Because I get tough. So, be right back. I have something funny to share with you, Shelly. Oh, cool. Hubby sent you that one. Hubby sent you what? Look at this, Shelly. The United spot. Oh, can I do that? Ugh. I can't wait. I gotta go to. Here we go. I had to go to YouTube Live because StreamYard won't let me click on links in the comment section. All it does is show it. Oh my goodness, it's Ultron's fault. Piece of poop blames. Oh my goodness. Oh my God, that's hilarious. Oh, I'm definitely watching that later. You're so funny. New post from Ricardo. Oh God, he needs to stay off the internet. Stay off the internet, Nick. That was hilarious. I don't know. I didn't watch the whole thing, so I don't know if I could show it on here, but more than likely Winning will probably show it because he takes risks like that. But oh my God, that was fucking funny. I can't wait to see the whole thing. It's long too. It's like 5 minutes. I don't have X, but I was able to see it. Okay. To be fair, they were monitoring you before. They're just public about it. Yeah, they don't give a fuck. They have no fucks to give. None. They're like, yep, this is what we're doing. We're going to say he's doing it, but we're really doing it. And if you don't like it, well, you can go scratch. The parental V chip that they started putting in TVs in the 80s was part of that. Oh, yeah. Yeah, my father was like, no, we're not having that. He was like, I'm the only parental control we need in this house. And he was right. Decades ago, I read a book for Dr. Andrew Weil. In one of his books, he mentions how watching and reading news every day can impact your overall health negatively. I tested it and it worked. It's true. It's true because all they do is poke at your fear receptors. Fear factor, Joe Rogan's whole thing, fear factor, that's every day that you turn on the news. Every day. Because they're just like, oh, what can we say to make them afraid? Well, there's going to be hurricanes doing this. And we have murder hornets and we have, tornadoes of worms. And this factory blew up. So everybody's going to have lithium poisoning. And, there's this in the water or there's that. They never say the bad stuff that's actually in the water. They just go into other, like this could contaminate the water. It's already contaminated. Like, settle your shit. But like, that's all they do. They have all their little keywords, their buzzwords, and they're, here you go. And you sit there going, like, you're like, oh my God. How many times a day do we literally use oh my God so much that we got tired of typing that shit out and made it OMG, and people just say OMG now. Like, if you have to shorten oh my God because you say it so much that it's just, you just don't have enough time in the day to say it as many times as you need to, and you're saying OMG, there's a fucking problem. There's a problem. In my opinion, it's not good who stripped you those things. It was an adversary who's fearful of our purposes. That does it. Yeah, absolutely. That's why they give you the fear, so that they can hamstring you. I mean, that was the whole thing with Achilles, right? They take him out at the heel. It was his only vulnerable point. Our Achilles heels are our fear centers because they created these fears since we're little. They build them up through movies, TV, through stories, everything. Like we're always looking for the fucking boogeyman. Why do we look for the things in the shadows when the things that are in the light are the things that are out to kill us? They're out to destroy us. There's nothing waiting for you in the shadow. There's nothing under your bed. And if there is, God help you. But, in the name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, amen. But, or you want to go like real, like, I don't know, del Padre, del Hijo, del Espíritu Santo. Amen. Like, if there's something under your bed, you might want to do something about that. Get some sage or, a priest, whatever. But there's nothing under there. We have all these things, fear and walking in door jams, fear this, superstition, that, superstition. I have them. I have the hundreds of them, all designed to make you go every 5 fucking seconds. So like your system never gets a chance to truly relax. I told my mother the other day, we're looking at the cat and I was like, I envy them so much. They're so tiny. Any one of us could kill them at any time just by falling on them. Put a chair on them, whatever. Like they're so tiny and vulnerable, and yet they relax in the middle of a sunbeam on their back, legs splayed, bush to the air, fucking belly up, neck exposed, arms out, looking like somebody like, I don't know, like was getting ready to like, dress them or whatever. And not in like a clothing way. And they're completely fucking relaxed. And that's it. And I'm like, why can I not feel that feeling? I want that kind of relaxation. I've never, even on Xanax, never in my life have I been that relaxed. And yet they're prey. I'm a hunter. I'm top predator on the planet. But I can't relax. They could be snuffed out by me just going to the neck in a moment of peak or whatever. And they couldn't do shit about it except what? Scratch me a little bit? Maybe bite me? I'm still in control. Yet they're completely relaxed in my presence. But I can't relax in the presence of anybody else or even by myself. That's something that is crafted into you. That is manufactured. That is conditioned. Because if there is no looming threat, there is nothing that should keep you from being relaxed and at peace, feeling secure. But you don't, because they don't want you to be. They've made sure that everything works to induce panic, induce fear, induce some type of nervous reaction. Get that adrenaline going, get all that, get all those chemicals in your body percolating around, and then you don't know which end is up. And they can do whatever they want, and you're just like, I'm trying to deal with my own panic over here, and you're adding to it, and I can't do. You know what? You handle it, because you get overwhelmed. It's what they do. It's designed that way. They're so good at it. So good at it. The problem is for them, it doesn't work on Trump because he don't give a fuck. The man has all the money he wants. He's at an age where he's like, I'm not going to live forever. Like, what are you going to do to me? Bring it. Come on. You want to fight? Let's go. I got fights left in me. Let's go. He has not one fuck left to give. He don't have a second term he has to run for. God help these people. John F. Kennedy didn't do shit in his first term as president because he was waiting for his second term so that he couldn't get bamboozled by the opposing forces, which apparently we all know who those are because they killed him. But he was supposed to get to his second term, and then the real drastic changes, all the things that nobody was expecting him to do, were going to take place. So they took him out before that could happen. Because they knew, second term, he's got nothing left to lose. He's going to go full steam ahead because he doesn't have to worry about running for re-election. And if it goes well, his VP will be right behind him, or his brother will be right behind him. It's the same with Trump. He's got nothing left to lose. They've done every freaking thing you could do to a man. They've slandered him. They've lied about him. They've tried to jail him. They took his mugshot. They put him in endless fucking court proceedings. They've raided his house. They raided his businesses. They've accused him of being like every horrible thing in the world. They've shot at him. They shot him. They have labeled him with every disgusting adjective you could think of. They've called him Hitler. They've called him a Nazi. They've called him like so many things. Orange man bad. They're just, oh, he's racist. No, he's not. Oh, he's, like, he's a globalist. No, he's not. He's establishment. No, he's not. Like everything they say that he is, it's them. Is he perfect? No. Is he a pain in the ass? Absolutely. Should he shut up sometimes? Maybe. Do I want him to? Nope. Because you know what? His free speech works the same as mine. I don't want a president who's going to make me feel better every day. Oh, I just love waking up to rainbows and kittens and unicorns. No, I want to be able to buy groceries for my family. I want to be able to buy a car that doesn't cost $80,000 because everything is so goddamn expensive. I want to be able to do things. I want to be able to trust that when I go to a doctor, they're not going to pump me full of 3-4 times the amount of medicine that I need. These high dosages that make me crazy, because they have a freaking quota to fill and they need to write a certain number of prescriptions, or they won't get their commission. They won't get their little kickback. I don't want that. I want to live in a world where I can eat food that's not trying to kill me, where I can drink water that's not poisoning me. I don't think I'm asking for much. And I think he can deliver that. So if he gives a couple mean tweets, or he says something like a little off color that would have flown with people his age, but maybe not with the youngest generation, I don't give a fuck. I don't. Sign me up. Sign me up. Sign me up for Make America Great Again. Sign me up for a lower economy, or for a better economy, lower inflation, I should say. Sign me up for no poisons in the water. Sign me up for no poisons in the food. Sign me up for my kids being healthier as they get older, rather than me watching them just decline in front of me no matter what I do. Fine. You gave me that jib jab that fucked me up. All right, fine. Oh, well, I'll do what I can, but I live my life. I need them to be good. I need them to have a future. I've packed more life into my life than most people ever do. I mean, you can't say that I made the best decisions, but I've made some awesome ones. They might not have turned out to be good things, but they were great stories, and they were great memories. And so I got no regrets. But they haven't done even an eighth of the shit that I've done in my life. And I see them growing up super quick. And I don't want them to reach this point where I'm at in my life and not have done all the things that I've done or their equivalent. I want them to look back when they're 50 and go, damn, I had a good life. Like I was wild, but I was fun. It was a good ride. Like, yeah, I had a good time. I want them to think that. And right now they won't. Right now, everything they have is, parasocial. And everything's the internet. I didn't have that. I had people in my life. Granted, I got into a lot of trouble because I had people in my life, but I got out of trouble too. So it's only trouble if you get caught. But Yeah, where is that? I didn't have any of that fear growing up. I had other fears. I had more familial fear. What they do to us, it's not right. It's not right. We're all on our own journeys. Never compare your path with others. We're to help each other, not sit and envy or judge other paths. And that's the thing about social media. Social media is literally set up for you to compete with other people to see who's got it better. That is the psychological construct of social media, is to make you want what another person has, and then you go out and buy that, and that stimulates, the economy. That's why you have influencers. That's the whole point of social media, is to make you envious enough to go out and try to keep up. Keeping up with the Joneses, taken to like the highest level. And it's stupid, because none of that stuff is going to make you happy. Will you enjoy it for a little bit? Yeah, probably. You buy something new, you enjoy it for a couple minutes, then the thrill is gone. In a year, you're going to be throwing it out. It's going to be in a trash pile somewhere. So maybe you don't have to buy everything that you're like, oh, I really want. You want it, but do you need it? I mean, which would you rather do? Would you rather like put this aside and then go out and have a big dinner with the family and have a huge memory, or would you rather buy like a Cuisinart that you're going to use once, put it in the thing, and it'll be something you give to your great grandchildren when you die? Like, think about it. Think a couple steps ahead. I don't tend to buy things, one, because I'm not allowed, but two, because I tend to give to other people more than I buy for myself. And money is limited. But I would rather just give to somebody who needs, rather than buy something I want, just to purchase it. I kind of like having the one room with just my stuff in it. I'm sad that I can't get to the art room, because right now it's a fucking mess, and I got to go past chickens and everything else, and I'm not dealing with it. And there's no way for me to get down into the basement because there's no railing for the stairs, and I'm not crawling because I have dignity. But yeah, no, like, I like the whole minimalization. It's funny how little I need to get through my day every day. I really don't need much. Now, there's things I want. There's things that are just luxury, really. But I've been denied the ability to get those. So minimal is actually working for me. It's a very Spartan room, my room. There's a lot of bare surfaces. The one thing I'm not loving is the blank walls. But they're also white walls, and I'm not a fan of white walls at all. I'm really not. It makes me feel like I'm in an institution. But I don't know what color I would paint it, and I'm not allowed to do it anyway. So here's the thing. I have so many controls put on me, and y'all, I know me. I'm towing the line right now. Yet I know one day they're going to wake up and they're going to be like, what the fuck are you doing? And I'm going to be painting a whole big ass mural on my fucking wall, because fuck you. What are you going to do about it? Paint over it? I'll paint it again. Like, but I know they're pushing me to that place rapidly. I just need to get through the holidays. That's it. I just need to get through the holidays, because I don't want to fuck that up. I want, like, because let's face it, my mother's going to be 82 at the end of November. And if this is one of her last holidays, I want it to be a good one. It doesn't matter that she doesn't want that for me. I want that for her. I want that for my kids. And I want that for me. Do I know she's going to disappoint me? Absolutely. Do I know she's going to make me cry? Absolutely. As long as I know that ahead of time, I'm better. I can deal with it better. It's when I go in optimistic and then she pulls that shit out that destroys me. So as long as I'm ready for it and I just know, just shut the fuck up, just put your head down and just forget it. Because somebody asked me, why do you let them do this to you? I don't understand. They were like really nasty about it too. Because I was already feeling down. So like telling me that I was doing all these things wrong, it really, I wanted nothing to do with them at that point. Because it was so hurtful. She's my mother. I can't fight her the way I fight everybody else. I can't be disrespectful because that's not who I am. And yes, I am very controlled here. But the person who controls me the most is me. Because I won't play the game. I won't give the satisfaction of letting them see me upset anymore. All I really look for now is a little tenderness, a little understanding, and somebody to listen. And right now, you guys are it. Tag, you're it. You get to listen. Because otherwise, I just get my head bit off. So it's like, I don't see the point. If I don't talk to you guys, I won't be talking at all. And that's not fear. Unfortunately, that is experience. That is knowing what happens when I push back. I have learned my lesson. When you deal with abusive people who are unhinged, unstable, and unreasonable, you have to walk on eggshells and you have to toe the line if you can't fight back 100%. And I am in a vulnerable position where I cannot physically fight back and I cannot physically leave. And I can't financially do it either right now. So I got to play ball and I got to keep my head down. And that requires people to be understanding rather than critical. That's what I need. I need some sweetness. I need some comfort. I need tenderness and I need understanding and compassion because I get enough of the opposite here. You guys give me that. I don't think you understand the value you hold as a chat. By the way, one of the things in the merch shop is chat is good, chat is wise, chat knows all. Because I always think of you guys when I do stuff. You really are. You're a part of every day. Even if I'm not on air, you are a part of my everyday. I'll start thinking something and I'm like, don't think that because fucking lady's gonna chew you out if you do, or don't say that because Ellie's gonna have a problem with you. Or don't do that, you'll disappoint Wolfram. Like there's I don't know, it's funny how much I think about you guys. It really is. Anyway, I told you tangent day. I'm gonna wrap it up in a minute. We're all on our own journeys. Yeah, we did that one. Okay. Also doesn't mean that you should enable people to keep doing harmful things. It's okay to call people out. Yeah, unless you got to live with them. God loves all his children, even the fuck ups. Yep. Shelly. To your love, though, we love you too. You jerk. You made me go backwards. All righty. Forgiveness doesn't condone wrongdoings. It allows one to move forward and heal. Yes. Reconciliation doesn't always mean that there's reconciliation with the other person. Many times it means we're able to let it go to God. Yeah. And you have to reconcile it inside your own mind. You have to be okay with the fact that you were wrong. They might never feel sorry for it, but there's no way to undo it. So, what is the point of holding on to that kind of shit? Like, you got to learn to go, okay, this happened. I'm still here. You didn't win. You didn't defeat me. You know, you may have won that battle, but I won the war. And we're good. I'm good. You know, go do your thing, live your life. Just don't fuck with me. I've said it over and over. Everybody who's ever done me wrong, right down to even like my father. I never wanted anybody to have anything bad happen to them. I want them to go off, live their lives, be better fucking people than they were to me. And I want you to have a full meal. I want you to enjoy your life, have a full meal. I just don't want your ass eating at my table. You're welcome to go eat. Just don't sit by me. It's that simple. I'm not willing to host you having a better time. Like, go over there and do that shit. Leave me alone. That's my main thing. I don't really care what you did. Like, just as long as it's over and done with and I can't undo it, which without a time machine ain't going to be fucking hella hard to do. Just leave me the fuck alone. I don't see where that's so difficult. Keep my name out of your mouth and go away. That's all. That answers so many of my prayers. Exactly, Heidi. I was always taught that forgiveness is for yourself. Holding on to the hate, anger, etc. is like drinking poison, and expecting the other person to die. Yep. Popper, happy Halloween. Happy Halloweeny. Happy full weenie. Happy solid weenie. Is that the opposite of a Halloweeny? A solid weenie? Maybe. See, now I want to make hot dogs for dinner. Damn it. Oh, that would be fun. Oh, I could wrap them in bacon and make little mummy dogs. Oh, the kids would love that. I know I feed my kids sometimes like they're still 3, but you know what? They get a kick out of it. Because I'll put olives for eyes and like I'll put a little piece of like the pimento from the green olive. I'll put it as like a little mouth. So cute. And then Katie will put ketchup on it and make it into like a whole massacre. It's just like great. Connor Connor made me a hot dog one year. I made the mummy dogs and he took the pork and beans and the sauerkraut and put it just in the middle of my hot dog and then put ketchup like all over the outside of it. And I'm sitting there watching and go, what the hell are you doing to my food? He was like, it's almost done. It's almost done. He gave it a belly wound and those were like the blood and guts and innards coming. And I was like, really? And he was like, yep. And now I bet you anything you won't eat. I was like, I bet you anything you wrong. I was like, you're wrong. Because I know what it is and I know what you said it is, but I know what it actually is. But he thought by telling me that he was going to get me to not eat the hot dog. Okay. Sure. I eat crab, snails, not escargot because those are the fat snails. No, I eat the little periwinkle, the black ones, the little barnacle snails. That's a guinea thing. But I mean, you got to boil them. First you soak them in like salt water for like 2-3 hours, constantly change the water to clean them out. Then you boil them and you take them one by one. You take a straight pin. It's always good to have the one with the pearl on the end. This way you don't swallow the fucking straight pin. And then you flick off the disc that's their eye. I guess it closes like it vacuum seals their little shell or whatever. You flick that off, you stick the needle in, and you pull the snail out, and it comes out like this weird, comes out straight, and then it instantly spiral tails. And you eat the whole thing. And what nobody tells you when you're little is you're eating the snail body, but you're also eating all the poop that was in there with it. Because that's what at the end of a snail, it compresses until it's just like weird spiral thing of poop, and that's what you're eating. And I would eat hundreds of those when I was little. I haven't been able to eat them since I was pregnant with Katie. Miguel's mother got them for me, and I ate them, and within 10 minutes I was throwing up like I never threw up in my life, and I haven't had them since. But like, I'll eat raw clams. I eat raw clams on a half shell. I'll eat a dozen of those sons of bitches as long as there's lemon juice. And you think I'm not going to eat a hot dog because you arranged the sauerkraut and pork and beans to look like innards? Stop it. The fuck, do I look like an amateur? Please. Of course, inside my head, I'm like, I put worse things in my mouth than that. Like, but I can't say that in front of my kid. Well, I can now, but I couldn't then. Now I say it just to hear them go, because it's fucking funny. Although my son always goes, of course she said that. Of course she said that. He's like, sometimes he'll say something and he goes real quiet. And he's like, really? Nothing from you? And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. He's like, oh, come on. I'm like, nah, you're throwing softballs at me, dude. Like, come on. Level up. It holds you in the chains of unforgiveness, weighing you down. Yes, it does. I saw what bitterness and unforgiveness did to some of my relatives. Yeah, it destroys people. It makes them so unattractive. It really does. I hate to like say it like that, but you could take the most beautiful person on the planet, and if they are just nasty and bitchy and they constantly have nothing good to say about anybody, including you, including whatever, except for themselves, that person it becomes more and more unattractive. Like, you're never going to deny the aesthetic beauty, but you're like, wow, if only your insides matched your outsides. Thank God your outsides don't match your insides, because you'd be a fucking train wreck. You'd be just a pustule. Like, there's so many people I think of like that, because I'm like, why are you so miserable? This house, living in this house. I don't know. Even when we lived in the apartment, I used to sing all the time. If I was, doing something, I'd be there like, just shaking my butt or whatever, because I just like being in that higher mood. You can't do that here. Like, I'll start singing and she looks at me like, ugh. Or one of them will get up and go turn the radio off just to be insulting. And it's like, God forbid any of us have any fun. The only fun is their fun. The only fun is their fun. So I just stay in my room and I stay by myself. Or I bring my laptop out to the living room, put my headphones in, and the whole world could go on around me. I don't give a shit. I write my scripts. I do my research for my shows. I'll, write a little bit on different topics I want to cover at some point. I work on the other channels, that I'm trying to build up. Figuring out all sorts of different things. But it is what it is. When I say adversary, I was applying it to spiritual warfare. Oh, no, I get it. And it definitely is applicable to human adversaries as well. Yep. Puffer says, I want a president that doesn't call me garbage or stupid. Not too much to ask for. You would think that would not be high bar, but apparently it's unachievable. Can you imagine? Can't wait for Tuesday. I already voted for Trump. I voted for Trump. Everybody in my house that can vote voted for Trump. I made sure of it. Grimmy, how you doing, Grimmy? The Joneses don't give a crap. Debt is slavery. Absolutely it is. Absolutely it is. Who are you trying to impress? People who don't matter and who don't give a crap. That's right. They don't care. Anybody who cares about you doesn't care about what you have. They're worried about what you need. They want to make sure you have what you need. I would rather have 3 people in my life concerned with what I need than 100 people in my life concerned about what I have. I mean, you think about it. I don't need anybody watching me going, oh, she got this. Oh, she did that. Oh, she must have. It's like, all right, judgment. Stop it. Hey, there was an art display in the news recently. A guy used a single piece of duct tape and taped a banana to the wall, and they're selling it. Talk about a waste of money. They do that kind of shit all the time. There was some guy put a staple literally like in the middle of a white canvas and sold it. And I'm like, that's not art. That's being lazy. That's going, hey guys, you don't understand anything about art. So I'm just going to do this, call it art because I need to pay my rent for the art that I make that's real, that doesn't sell because it's pretty and everybody understands it. So obviously it's worthless. But this is ugly and stupid and nobody gets the meaning. And I'm not going to tell you the meaning because it really doesn't have one. I just had an extra staple. But it's going to go for $100,000 and you're going to pay for my new house so that I have a place where I could do the actual painting. But thanks. That's the way the fucking world works. There's something wrong when that is normal. You're talking railing once and I'm listening. Oh man, I want a couple in here. Sorry, bitch. Girl, please. It's been 6 years for me. I can't even. Shelly, there are removable wallpaper idea websites that'll get you some color in there. No, honey, I can't do anything. Anything. I changed the doorknob because the doorknob was a shitty doorknob and falling apart. I changed it and I had to fucking hear about it for 2 weeks. She railed at me so much that I cried because she was like, you went and you did that and he's going to leave now. He said he's leaving. He's not living. And it was like, what? Like everybody's life falls apart because I changed the doorknob? Really? When I told you I was changing the doorknob and nobody told me not to? And then I do it and all of a sudden I'm guilty of like a cardinal sin? Like, are you kidding? So no, Ellie, I can't do anything. You can play ball. I'd pick you first. Mom can be mean all day. We can sit on the bench together and say, aw, yeah. Mm-hmm. Some days I feel like it's just better to just not engage at all. I'll literally tell them like I was sick. They're like, you were in your room all day. Yeah, I was sick. I had a headache and y'all are loud. So it was just better if I stayed in there and let you have a good time today. Oh, all right. It's not like they ever invite me anywhere. They go to stores, they don't ask me. They go out to eat, they don't ask me. They get food, they don't ask me. Nothing. He bought a brand new truck. First, I was hearing of it. Okay. But apparently we can't afford, like garbage service. No garbage service. It's too expensive. Let's buy a brand new truck. Oh, okay. Heidi said, I hear you, Shelly. 10 years of early adult life was the just get through one more holiday, one more birthday to keep the peace. Yep. I am so good at pleasing other people, of anticipating what they need, what they want, what they're going to do, what they're going to decide. Because I've always had to anticipate everybody's moves before they did them so that I was prepared to defend myself or to run away, depending, which was more readily accessible. You wished me the best full weenie ever. Keep it coming. I didn't say that. Thank you. Happy full weenie to you too. There you go. There you go. As long as I can make you laugh. That's a weird dynamic you're living in right now. Jeez. Yeah, I know. And I'm not looking for, fixes because there are none. Not right now. I'm just looking for a little compassion. Somebody to be on my side. Because it's very lonely on this side. It is what it is, though. And it is Halloween-y. I kind of wish somebody would make a Halloween montage of all the times that we've stopped people in videos when they're in the middle of saying something. It looks like they're blowing a ghost dick. Just saying. Because I think those are hilarious. The freeze frames are the best. Those make me laugh like nothing else. I'm so good at pleasing other people. That's what she said. Girl, listen, I got skills. I got skills. We're not going to say how I got those skills, but the best way is on the job training. I find I learn best with the hands-on approach. Even that, it's like whatever. I've never in my life felt more like a Ken doll. Jesus. It's sad because I tend to be a very sensual person. I tend to be a very sexy girl, and I do not feel that way. What am I going to be for Halloween? Well, in about 5 minutes when we end this, I am going to go be Shelly. I'm going to put my smile on and I will wipe my eyes and I will go out and sure, great, yeah, because that's the extent of what I say. It's usually just me sitting there going, yeah, whatever you want. Yeah, well, if you say so. Okie dokie. Like, once I start pulling out the okie dokies and the sure. The minute I tell you, do whatever you want. Yeah. Go right ahead. I no longer care. I have decided that it doesn't matter what I say, you're gonna do what you want anyway. So I'm just not gonna bother. Like I'm here, but I care less and less. You know, my mother's got me there. I care less and less. And it's to the point where she's going to do to me what my grandfather did, and like just betraying me and just driving me to that point where I just don't care anymore when they go. And it's just like, all right, yeah, like it hurts, but it don't hurt that bad. And if it was anybody else, I would say they're doing it on purpose. Like grandma did it on purpose. Grandma wanted me to distance myself from her so I wouldn't be devastated when I lost her. And I was still devastated. Yeah, I don't think that's my mother's motives. I think she just, because she wouldn't have been doing it for the last 50 years if it was something new. Like, no, it's not an end of the life thing. It's just, that's just her personality. Anyway, love you. You're an amazing person. If I have faith in anything, I have faith in God and you handling lots of crap when you don't need to. Yeah, head up. You're awesome. You got this. You're stronger than I could ever be. Oh, no, I'm not. You're a strong bitch, girl. I know what you go through. I know what you go through. You don't forget what I have is the same symptoms of everything you have. Only I got mine from a tick, apparently. That I never knew I got bitten by, but whatever. One doctor said I could have had it as a child and it just had a resurgence. I was like, so just bacteria was in my body for 40 fucking years, just laying there dormant. And all of a sudden, now it's like, hey, I'm awake. No, like, I don't accept that. I just don't, because it makes no goddamn sense. And then I find out that mRNA reactivates autoimmune diseases that are dormant in your body and bacteria that are dormant in your body. I did not know that. Thanks, Biden, asshole. But thank you for that, Puffer. I do appreciate that. I think you're amazing. I always get a big smile on my face when you come around. So make sure you come around, say hi more often. It's just us. We're just us dozen people hanging out over here, having a good time. You guys are all I need. I don't give a fuck about nothing else. You do care, though. The humming is masking and coping. I mean, all I do over here is cope and try not to seethe. I internally seethe. Cope and seethe, but the seething has to be kept internal. But here's the thing. When you turn up the pressure in a pressure cooker and it builds and builds and builds, if you don't have a release valve, bitch is going to explode, and I'm about to take out a roof. Not going to lie. I'm getting there. I am getting there. Just speaking to what I used to do too, hun. Oh no, you could. No, believe me, you're fine, Heidi. Trust me. Oh, you weren't around for my trauma streams. I mean, if you go back to like September, October, November, they were bad. I was going through a lot. Not this year, like the year before, because they had me so heavily medicated that I was loopy. But I was working through all my traumas that I couldn't face from my childhood, and I was very open about it. I mean, these guys, they were there with me for a good, like, I think it was like a 4-hour stream when I had to face the vent in the van. That was a memory I didn't know that could be overcome, but we did it. We did it together. And now I look up and I still see the vent every time, but I don't care. There's no spike of emotion, panic, nothing. I have no reaction to it. It's literally just a vent in the ceiling of my brain, basically. It's just an automatic thing that I see when I look up. And I can brush it away now. I couldn't do that before. So you guys you've gotten me through a lot. Hell, you did more for me than my therapist and shrink combined. So you'll never know what you mean to me. You really won't. We can argue about this all day. You're such a loving, accepting person. You're better than the best meal I ever had. Now, see, girl, now you're talking my language. You got this. Get some hacky sacks to throw at the wall. Get the anger out gently. I'd like to get hacky sacks and throw them at their head. I don't know. Ideas, what I do, or rip up books. I haven't read in forever. Oh God, I would rip up a book. You're trying to break my heart, girl? Books are sacred to me. I love books. Love books. My daughter, I gave her all my Anne Rice books to read because I figured she'd have a good time. And I was watching her read one the other day, and she dog-eared it. I had a fit. What are you doing? What? I'm saving my plate. I was like, don't you ever bend the pages of my book. What are you, nuts? She was like, what am I supposed to do? You ever heard of a bookmark? What's that? It's a thing that marks your place in a book, you dumbass. She knows what a fucking bookmark was. She was messing with me. But yeah. Yeah, it's real evil. Makes me feel I get it. You're funny. You guys, I love you. I hope you all have a happy Halloween. I hope you get all the trick-or-treaters you want or none of the ones you don't. And I hope your day just ends really well. Let's hope we get through the next week. I think Winning's doing a show tonight. I'm sure he is because I'm sure there's stuff he has to cover. I don't know if it'll be Unveiling Reality or Election 2024. Well, Winning 2024. It'll be one of them, most likely. But I hope to see you all there. And I got to go figure out what the hell am I going to make for dinner. I'm thinking those hot dogs are a really good idea, but I think they're in the freezer. I might have time to defrost them. Oh, well, let me go see what I could do. Have an amazing day, Shelly. You're love my minute. I love you guys. I really do. Heidi, thank you. Have a great day. Thank you, my mods. Best mods ever. Runs through library, removes all the dog. Somebody throw him a pig's ear. Pig's ears are better than dog's ears. You could at least chew on that. All right, guys. I love you. Have a happy Halloween and pleasant nightmares. Anyway, I'll see you in the funny papers. Bye. As soon as I hit the button.
Jersey girl, I know that you're a Jersey girl inside. 4 a.m. at a diner, stop singing, living on a
And
prayer.
doggone it, people like me.
I'm thinking maybe you're a Jersey girl with all those highlights in your hair. No other girl can move like you. We pump our fists, damn right, it's true. And I don't care what they might say, they'll never get us anyway. So be my Jersey girl, and take a little ride with me tonight. And let's get dirty, girl. I know that you're a Jersey girl inside. The way you turn it up, turn me on, and then you take it off. Make it hot, make it loud. We'll wake the whole town. Jersey girl, I know that you're a Jersey girl inside.
Who the fuck starts a conversation like that? I just sat down.
Be